What is happening to Big Sis? Shout out to the homegirl memory. She's in the building. We are so happy to be putting up another smoke signal to all my motherfuckers out here in the land of this world and all other worlds. Anybody in the sound of my voice, God bless you. How are you? How are we doing tonight? What's happening to all my neighbors from the neighborhood and what's happening to all my citizens out here? That's right. That guy's in the darkness because I come from darkness to light. And so, you know what I'm saying? You seeing me at my base element, just chilling, fresh off of work. So excited. Oh my God, give it up for yourself if you're in the building. If you are alive and you are breathing, and if you have a pulse, I know your heart is racing. If you are a boxing fan, I know that you are pacing. I know that you are biting your nails. You are placing bets. You're scrolling through your phone looking for, a hotel, a rental car, a friend who stays somewhere in the Nevada area because you just got some news that just shifted your paradigm. All your priorities just changed in the last few hours. I know you had shit to do. Yeah, we's gonna go see mama. Or you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We gonna do this in July. We gonna go take this trip down to Florida. And then you looked on Instagram and said, fuck all that. Wait a minute. Hold up. Oh shit. Terrence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. have finally confirmed a date and a time. Oh, in the immortal words of Show Nuff, just designate the time and designate the place, and I will designate that ass for termination. Yeah. Show Nuff. Shout out to D Young. He's going here and he's can pull up on the panel. Come on, my brother. Come on in. The water's fine. There you go.
What's good with it, OG? I think this is my first time on your panel. What's poppin'?
What's popping? Yes, this is your first time. Puff, salute to you. Smoke them if you got them. I'm hype. Are you hype?
Man, let me tell you, OG. Man, I woke up at 4 this morning getting ready for work. Now, I pop on Instagram. I see Bud got the Aquaman shit going on with the staff and the short. Yeah, man, I'm super excited, man. Like, you know what I mean? We've been waiting on this for so long, and all you've been hearing about is who ducking who, and this side ducking this, or this side don't want to fight. Hey, all that's coming to an end.
Thank you. All that's done. I don't want to hear it no more. I don't
Yeah.
want to hear it no more. I'm gonna tell you right now. I might just be spinning these YouTube streets. I'm gonna spin this block. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm putting cases on all you dirty motherfuckers if you still out here spewing that hatred. All I want to see right now is where it's at. I want to see who you got. I want to see, whether you're going. I want to see, are you doing the watch party? I need to see that hype. Why? Because a lot of you motherfuckers then got yourselves famous. You got fat out there while we all starve. Y'all got famous on these YouTube streets with some Terrence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence all in your mouth. You all in the videos dancing. This nigga fuck nigga. This nigga don't know business. Y'all motherfuckers had all this shit to say. Y'all the motherfuckers, y'all done got monetized. Y'all done fed your goddamn family. Talking about these two men.
Hey, AOG, and what they need to do, since they did all that money they done collected with the hatred and shit, put it on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, so I'll get you took the words out of my mouth. Shout out to you. Give it up to D Young. That man sees it. He gets it. He sees the forest. He ain't looking at no bullshit tree. He looking at the whole bitch.
For shit show. Yeah, man. I'm just overly excited, OG. I ain't gonna lie, man. So yeah, the 29th, I might try to get out there to Vegas, but if not, I'm definitely buying the pay-per-view, man. Definitely. I'm definitely trying to get to see this and
yeah, man. I'm definitely I mean, like I was saying to Mark, I was at work and I was actually looking into I found some flights, believe it or not. I found a flight round trip that, oh my God, like shit, I'll go to Vegas right now. Like, oh shit, let's go. Then I said, okay, let me look into an Airbnb hotel. And I said, ooh, wait a minute. And I ain't even get into looking into the price for tickets to the fight, and I was already like, ooh.
Shit. I guess just being out there is just, even better. You know what I mean? So
And you
yeah,
know what?
for sure.
I was thinking that too. Like and that's what I mean. Like as much as I'm being energetic, I'm being entertaining and engaging, but I'm very serious when I say I will be spinning these YouTube streets. And I need that same energy because you know what? This fight needs to be a fight where even if you are not in the arena, you could not be nowhere within 3 hours of Las Vegas, Nevada without feeling the electricity in the air. The city needs to be bubbling. The city needs to be crawling with motherfuckers staring at their phones and jumbotrons and people just hanging at the bars, staring at TVs, taking shots. That's what needs to happen. Because a lot of y'all motherfuckers got fat while niggas were starving. All because you had EJ and Bud in your mouth. Get them niggas out your mouth and put your money up now.
Facts on facts. Shit show, OG.
Because I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Yes, there will be fresh fries. Oh yes, fish fries are coming. Oh yes, the canola oil is getting heated up. I'm gonna talk my shit because me personally, I don't know if you know this, but I've been Bud Crawford for quite some time now, many a moon. I've been a big Bud fan. I'm not only a fan of Bud the Fighter, I'm a fan of Bud the Man. I'm a fan of EJ the Fighter. I have respect for EJ the Man. And everything like that, but I just really see Bud getting this. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody who's pulling up. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Hey. You know what I'm saying? Smoke signals in the air, man. Smoke them if you got them. You know what it is, man. You up here with the High Chief, smoke a fat blunt. You know what I'm saying? We out here chilling. We are hyped off this Bud Crawford Errol Spence Energy, July 29th. Oh my gosh. It's not on your calendar yet? What? D, what's wrong with them? What's wrong with them, D? They tripping.
Nah, I don't know what's they better mark it up. But look, OG, how you got this? Break your prediction down. How you got it going?
I alluded to it a little bit earlier on Breaking Beats. I totally see this as a Hagler-Hearns sort of scenario with maybe 3 to 4 more rounds. Seeing that what Hagler-Hearns ended, what, in the 3rd or the 4th, I see this ending anyway. It's not going past 10, and yeah. I see maybe that first minute and a half of that trying to be a chess match. And then I don't think there can be room for Kerr in these dogs. Shout out. I heard it alluded on Mark Nash's show. And great commentary, great opinions from everybody. I don't know if it was Reggie Owens or somebody had said that, you got to think like Ryan Garcia and all like that, and Tank for setting the tone and everybody else stepping up. But I will thank them also about this: how Garcia Davis ended. I think is going to set the tone for how fighters go about these bigger fights moving forward. We saw Lomachenko and Devin try to go. Devin actually made it harder for himself because he was, he wants to bring a fight like he did in the Kambosos fight. He made it harder for himself because he wants to engage. He sees that, no, we're not going to see no quitting. We're not going to see no whatever. And so I truly expect that. I said all that to say I truly expect dog shit. Straight fucking 2 pits in a cage. No curve. Nobody turning their head. You feel me? I see both of them hitting.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. I think this is definitely gonna be a dog fight. I definitely think that it's gonna go. I think it's gonna go maybe 10 rounds. I got Bud getting them out of there in 10. I think it's gonna be the battle of attrition, man. I think 2 X factors in this fight. You know what I mean? I think if Spence can make it a rough, rugged fight and be able to get his jab off, then it could be trouble for Bud. But I think if Spence can't get that jab off, man, I'm gonna be real interested in seeing how do he adjust. You know what I mean? Because one thing for sure is we never seen Spence have to adjust his game because he was always the enforcer. You know what I mean? So that's gonna be something I want to see EJ see different from EJ, just in case he get that jab taken away. And we all know as the fight get on, both guys get stronger. So I just really want to see these gears, how each one of them handle each other's gears and shit. So man, this is gonna be a high speed chess match, to be honest.
I hear what you're saying. I've heard it. I've heard that throughout the night, and respectfully, I disagree. I think EJ's jab don't mean shit because, and I don't say this as a Bud fan, I say this as a student of the sweet science. I've seen very few fighters, let alone in this day and age, I'm talking about very few fighters in boxing's history, that downloads and processes information faster than Terrence Bud Crawford. Half the reason why I'm a fan. So the things that EJ can do with a stiff jab and able to work the jab, like I said, that first minute and a half or whatever, I say he's got no more than 4 times of establishing that jab, meaning landing it once clean and then being able to probably do a punch afterwards that either almost hits Bud or hits Bud.
Right.
Before Bud realizes what's going on.
And yeah, that could be true. Could
and
be
Bud,
like
come on, and Bud is an old bloodhound. And if he gets that scent,
yeah,
we see that scent.
Yeah, I've seen it. And you got a lot of
scent. And we've seen EJ, like you said, we've seen when EJ gets close to having to think differently. Not only do we see mental lapses, but we see true moments of, oh shit. I know I want. Come on, I need a guppy to come on this thing because somebody gonna get mad, but it's true. If it wasn't for that knockdown, EJ might have a loss on his record in that Porter fight. Why? Yeah. Because when EJ just couldn't do his thing, we saw 3 to almost 4 rounds of what's going on. And Sean was looking good until the 10th. I think it was the 10th when he got knocked down, or was the 11th?
The 11th. It was the 11th. Yeah, it was the 11th.
Think about it. So yeah, like for real, we had almost a 6th or 7th round to the 11th round of Sean was looking good till EJ caught his goofy ass rushing in. And, you know what I'm saying? And Sean almost did the Tank Davis, Rolly Romero, only he wasn't as much as hurt. He got right back up. And it got back to a close fight. But EJ did get the knockdown.
Yeah. And that's what I'm thinking. Like I'm not going to too much predicate it off of Porter, but that's the best template we can have to go off both guys, being that was both guys you say best matchup, you know what I mean? High speed. I just think that the problem is that a lot of folks don't give Bud the credit on how he handled Porter's aggression rather than Spence. You know what I mean? Like I watch both fights very often, and I definitely saw what Spence did to make the adjustments, and I definitely saw how Crawford made his adjustments. So yeah, that's why it's just gonna be so good to see both of these guys get in the ring, and we'll really be able to see what adjustment both guys can make, because we know one guy is always making adjustments in the ring, and one guy really never had to make adjustments because he was always the mauler. But I think what's gonna really be interesting though, Clips, is that, man, what if Bud come out on that front foot and make EJ go on that back foot, man? That's gonna be some shit. Like I'm gonna be like, bro, this nigga really got some dog in it for him to take in the fight to Spence.
But
and I think that's what's gonna happen in the second half.
I don't think that.
Go ahead, OG. My bad.
No. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but that was the one thing that I really wanted to stress. We have seen whatever Bud says. All right, fuck it, I'm done playing with you. And he presses, people fold. We don't see EJ off the back foot enough.
Don't.
To talk about how can he handle adversity. We see EJ do EJ. Try to get in the middle. And here's another thing that I think, D Young, and I really, come on, everybody, you know what I'm saying? I know there's a guppy out there that's just, oh man, he's swimming in circles in their tank right now. They're just swimming in circles. They're just mad listening to me break down what I say is gonna happen. I think EJ's inside game is going to get nullified by Bud's inside game and wrestling prowess.
Damn.
EJ's going to try to use his muscle, size, and strength, but he doesn't understand he's dealing with an athlete who is boxing.
A wrestler.
Thank you. He is an athlete, schooled in many disciplines. I remember when we watched the Sean Porter fight. Nash can agree with this. When we watched the Sean Porter fight, and even on the rewatches, me and Nash was pointing out all the different times when Sean tried to get inside of Bud and get strong. Bud had that wrestling acumen to get a double underhook, and he was picking them up and just turning him like a little boy. No disrespect to Porter. He was, but you know what I'm saying? It wasn't even about strength. It was about understanding how to deal with size, momentum, and leverage.
Yes, it was leverage. And hey, it's funny you brought that up, OG, because the next X factor was gonna be the clinch. Because we know, like you say, I think how Bud gonna nullify, he gonna clinch his ass, and then you know that's what Bud does. He gonna clinch it. I never really seen nobody really clinch Spence like that. Spence a bull, but you know, like
exactly.
I ain't gonna lie, I really
grab him.
Yeah. Nobody. I don't think nobody was able to grab him except for maybe guys, but he broke out of it. Like, you know, like I'm gonna give EJ his flowers. He a bull, man, but you know, like I said, I don't know, man. I just think Bud gonna catch him with something he don't see. You know what I mean? And just like how he caught Avenesian, like people could take that fight for a grain of salt, but it was just some work that I saw Bud do really, and it was like, you know, the change of the speed he put on that fucking right hook. You know what I mean? So what if he catch Spence with some shit like that on the inside? Because one thing's for sure, Spence do got a problem with leaning to the left a lot when he's on the inside. That's where he get his work off at.
So, and if you lean into the left, dealing with an assassin like Terrence Bud Crawford. All right, Boxing Scholar, I see you in the chat. Shout out to you. You could really understand what I'm talking about. That lazy John Wayne jab that you could turn over to a hook to the body or a hook to the head when a nigga's leaning to the left a lot. You know that old John Wayne punch in old 50s cowboy movie where it ain't like a straight jab that's coming down the pipe. It's almost coming from the hip.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's like hit him with that little. You know what I'm saying? And I you know, so, but I do see EJ. Now, EJ with his size and with his inside acumen. Now, this could be interesting. Now, EJ has got to come up with 3 to 4 different combination series that he switches up to where he can't give him the same rhythm. Follow what I'm saying? EJ can really hurt Bud as long as he has 3 to 4 different combinations of this to switch up. EJ's bigger.
Yep.
So he comes in, uses the jab, but instead of a jab to the face, it's a jab to the chest. A jab to the chest that's doubled up. Chest body with a quick left up top. That 1, 2, 3, and that is his rush. I'm talking about nothing telegraphed, not 1, 2, 3. I'm talking about they need to come. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? Real quick. Like that. On
sort of like a feint.
Exactly. And if he has 3 to 4 variations of that rhythm, meaning that, say, I do the chest stomach head, that's the 1. And so my 2, I might go head chest stomach. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Which that's right.
Yeah, which that's what he do. He do part that jab to close that distance. You know what I mean?
He can't pause. He's got to touch. That's what I'm
saying. That's true. Yeah, that is true. He definitely gonna have to touch. He's gonna have to hit Bud everywhere.
You gotta throw him in a sequence where even if I'm hitting your wrist, even if I'm hitting your shoulders, you're gonna feel this punch. It's not that, you know what I'm saying? Because this is my rushing. Because what I'm really doing this for is for you to adjust and make them steps with your feet, try to give yourself some space so you can try to return fire, because a dog is gonna want to bite back. But you've got to adjust to bite back. So if he could get Terrence in a constant motion of trying to adjust as Terrence is downloading that information. And if he's got 3 to 4 variations of a minimum of a 3-punch entrance in that fashion, that could confuse Bud long enough to land something big.
Yeah. True
There,
that.
I said it. You heard it live on my show, That Guy Exclusive. That is Errol Spence's only way to victory. I challenge anybody, Bud fan or Spence fan, to come debate me on that. If Spence does anything other than a 3 to 4 combination, serious, no pawing, no range finding fuck shit. He's got to be convinced, and he's got to be resigned that you're going to get caught in those exchanges.
Right. And and honestly, I think the way you broke that down, it makes sense. And honestly, I think he is willing to catch one to get off a couple. You know what I mean? I think that's his game plan. You know, because we know, but we also know that Spence, his defense is very solid. Like, you know, he may not move his head as much, but he do catch a lot of shot with the gloves. He do catch a lot of shot with the gloves. He do catch a lot of shot with his elbows. You know, he, like Sean Porter said, he is a chameleon in there. So I'm gonna definitely give him his props on his defensive skills. So I definitely think he is willing to catch one to get off 3 or 4 of those punches. And like you say, he definitely can't paw. He definitely gonna have to touch Bud. He definitely just gonna have to hit Bud where he can get him. It's like playing football. You know, take what the defense give you. Hit him anywhere. Hit him anywhere. We know he gonna try to relentless body work, but the problem is that, you know, he definitely gonna have to get in range for that. And I think another factor too, Clips, I think, you know, this might be one of the I think Bud gonna have a little bit of problems with Spence reach as well. I think I can see him having some issues with Spence's reach as well, because what he is, 73 inches.
Exactly. That's exactly what I said. Spence, how did I start my breakdown? Spence being a bigger, longer person, naturally. If he, with a 3 to 4 punch variation, he can establish distance, close distance, and reestablish distance as he chooses if he switches up the variations. Because as Bud's adjusting, and if he stays in rhythm, like I said, if he, you know what I'm saying, like how Customato used to yell out the combinations to Tyson. You know what I'm saying? 1 3 4, 4 2 3, 1 1 2 2. Everyone's thinking that's a punch, but no, each number is a sequence of punches. You know what I'm saying? What he can do is catch even somebody as defensively sound as Bud Crawford.
Right on. Right on.
He can catch somebody like that.
Right on.
But that's going to have to take discipline, because you're going to have to stick to the plan. I've seen that when Spence gets hot, he does that. That's why I'm saying that. But I've also seen those mental lapses, or when he does get hot, I've seen Spence want to admire his work.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that is true. He do admire his work a lot. That's why he got caught against Ugas. I will give you that.
No, he got caught against Ugas because he was looking down. He dropped his mouthpiece, and he looked out to the crowd. That he was saying to himself, "Man, what do I want to drink? Man, I hope they don't got the Don Julio." You know what I'm saying, and all like that. He was thinking, you know what I'm saying? That motherfucker was bullshit. That guy had to get back to life in reality. If Ugas sat down on it, we would have seen goddamn fish sleeping. I'm telling you. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've said that then. I said it.
Yeah, he can't.
I say it again. If he does anything like that, oh, look at the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Oh, do all them little mental lapses that we see Spence, or even like I'm saying, you just want to start. Oh, well, I did, you know what I'm saying? I came in 3 or 4 times with this combo, like I was saying, and it's got success. Ooh, look, Bud's wobbling. If he ever says, ooh, look, I wobbled Bud, instead of just keep punching, you'll see Spence go to sleep. That's the thing, and I'm not saying this as a Bud fan. Shout out to the boxing scholar for pulling up. This is a true boxing scholar. He can, he's either gonna tell me I'm crazy and I'm high as shit and I'm sleep deprived and need to just go on and take a nap and put that shit down, or he's gonna agree with me. Spence cannot admire his work with somebody who downloads information as fast as Bud Crawford. He's gotta overwhelm him the first
Yeah.
time, but
Now
first time
you got
I'm
a
gonna
good
agree with
assessment. You had a good assessment, Clips. I'm gonna be honest with you, Clips. I don't even believe the fight gonna happen, man. I hate to be the one in the classroom, man, but they didn't got
you.
me
Don't
too
you
many
dare.
fucking
We're
times,
not
bro.
gonna do it. No
They done got me
nicotine.
too many times, Clips. I can't fall for the okie doke. They ain't put no banana in my tailpipe no more.
I'm not
So
falling for the
damn, Scholar, you don't think it's gonna happen? I mean, I'm only agreeing this happening, bro, because I mean Bud posted it, and I don't think he about to post it. I just don't think he gonna post that with a fish on it to get our hopes down. I think it's legit. I ain't gonna lie. If you know what, Scholar, I'm gonna just wait on Earl Spence. I hope Spence posts on Instagram today, but I
And
think
that's
it's
that's
official.
what I'm waiting for, bro. Because I feel like Spence is more active on social media than Bud, and he ain't post nothing. So I'm like, come on, man.
Now what I do think this is. Although now I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I'm gonna get right here in the gray area, right in the middle of this dark and light. Scholars on the side of, man, it's cat. I'm on and D Young and me and I'm with you in spirit, D Young. I'm on the side of goddamn it, it's happening. You see the title of this show. It's a real thing. It's real. It's a real. I think Bud signed that contract, sent that contract over, and then put that post. Like, nigga, give me your signature. What's happening? And so that's
Verbatim.
the only way it doesn't happen, the boxing scholar, was it's not final, but Bud did what he did. Like, nigga, I'm good on my side. What's happening, my baby? I'm already 3 weeks in the camp. You know what I'm saying? What's happening?
Literally, literally.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
I mean,
Oh, my
oh my
bad.
bad,
Go ahead.
Scholar. No, go, Scholar. You good? I've been talking. Go ahead, bro.
I don't know, Chris. I'm just skeptical about it. I hope it does happen, but I don't know, man. I'm just starting to like. I feel like they made the fight with McGregor versus Mayweather easier, and he was in UFC, and Dana White is his boss. They figured that shit out, and the money was fucked up because he in another promotional company that's a different sport, and they still figured out the numbers, and that fight happened. You know what I mean? In no time. They done teased us too many times with this fight, subliminal messages. But why Bud just don't be like the fight is finalized? Why he got to put a subliminal
Because
picture?
maybe legally he can. I mean, this is a negotiation between two parties. That is why I'm shooting the bail money that I'm shooting. You know what I'm saying? Your gloomy fucking cloud of negativity. Yeah, you know, it's cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, maybe he just signed the contract and he agreed to all the terms as the contract said. And so he's posting this like, come on, nigga, just sign the contract and confirm it too. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait a couple weeks being secretive and having your team say, no, I don't like this, take this out and do this. Come on now. This is what we said on the phone. This is what I signed to. My team already signed off. I know you got that fax. That's why I put the post on IG, because you know what I'm saying? We got the confirmation. We got the confirmation receipt. You know, I got the email. Y'all got our paperwork. We good.
When I seen Spence in that interview, he was talking about how him and Bud was talking about their kids, and I was like, look, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like, you know, that shit sound good, but don't nobody want to hear that motherfucking shit. What y'all talking about each other kids for, man? We want to see y'all scrap, man. All
Yeah,
that
y'all be
soft ass
free
shit.
after the fight. Right now, we want violence.
Like,
So,
fact, y'all couldn't even, y'all went in negotiation for a couple months and then came out and the fight didn't happen, and then y'all start the conversation off where we talked with each other about each other kids. What, man? Come on, man, with that soft ass shit. Get in the ring, man.
I mean, and it's a crazy thing too, right? Because on one level, I love seeing, me personally, I love seeing two young black businesses, because that's what these men are. These men are living businesses. Okay, sitting at the table and being committed to sit down. So, you know, they wanted to get to know each other, talk about each other's kids. That sounds beautiful. But on the other level, this is boxing. This is the fight game. This is combat sports. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it was deep. It was touchy when Larry Holmes and Frazier and all them are friends and hugging on to old Ali and everything, because it's over with. But during the fight, I don't need y'all to be friends. You know what I'm saying? I don't want y'all kissing and coming out to the press conference holding hands, wearing matching outfits and shit.
Fact. That's what's gonna sell this fight. What's gonna sell this fight? What got me hype about the Haney fight was when Haney pushed Loma. So
Exactly.
they got to come out. They got to come out with some smoke. I don't want to hear none of that soft ass shit. Like I talked to him about his kid. Man, fuck all that, man. I want to hear
Nah,
that Tyson shit. I don't want his
hey,
kids to recognize him.
hey, Scott, yeah, I'm in agreement with you, bro. I hope Bud get nasty with that nigga, man, for all the shit that just done happened over these last couple months. And I hope Spence get nasty with him too for all the shit that he done heard on the internet. Yeah, this don't need to be no friendly ass fucking press conference. We wait
Yeah,
5 years, sell this pay per view.
for real. I really no. I agree with both of y'all. I want to see. I want to see the shit. I want to see the shit the way I want to see it. I want the energy. I want the fighters to match the energy of the fans. And so that is kind of asking a lot. That's a tall order because we've been a little extra. You know what I'm saying? But then again, we've been thirsty. We've been they've got us all salivating and ready to go. And so, it's like, listen, they don't have to be disrespectful. But I want this fight to be built up as the true competitive contest that it better be. I don't want a money grab. You know what I'm saying? I don't want a money grab. I don't want no some quick little slick shit. You know what I'm saying? That niggas are trying to get off. No, I want the real deal. Two guys who are the best at what they do, determined to remain undefeated. And I want to see an elite boxer teach another elite boxer how to lose.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one, man. This is gonna. I feel like you can make a case for both fighters winning. That's the type of fight that you want to see. We don't want to see no 70-30s, no 60-40. We want to see 50-50, where you could be like, on one day, this guy could win. Next day, this guy could win. And I feel like that's where they are in their careers. The only thing I ain't gonna lie that I don't like is there's gonna be a rematch clause. And I feel like these fighters will take so much damage that Boots is just sitting there licking his lips like, food.
And that's a beautiful thing, though. But that is that because that takes us back to this golden era that all of us fucking dinosaurs talk about, the halcyon days of the 80s and the 90s, where, especially in those lower weight divisions, it was not only about being the man, but it was about being the man in the certain, as Floyd proved, being able to win your fights in a way where you're preserving yourself. Because that next guy, that next young lion in the wing, he's a little bigger than the one you're fighting now. He's a little hungrier. So you know what I'm saying? You've got to give your all while still understanding you better sleep. You better have another clip ready. How do you know what I'm saying? That's a difficult thing. Shout out to Floyd Mayweather. So far in modern history, he's the only person we've seen to be able to do that.
And I don't even think this fight gonna see the final bell. What they talking about, a rematch, bro?
I see it too. I see 7 to 10 rounds. I said it earlier. I see 3 to 4 extra rounds. Hagler and Hearns all over again.
Yeah, I think if it's one-sided, shit, you could go ahead and avoid a rematch. Yeah, you can go ahead.
I don't think it'll be one side. I think both of them throw punches with bad intentions. That even if they do see the final bell, they're gonna take so much damage in this fight that it's gonna take off their career.
Yeah, might need about a year and a half on that rematch. Niggas need to soak some cold water and rub some Epsom salt on that for a minute. Like nobody's now. Listen, unless you ever really fought and really been in some shit, y'all don't understand. Like in a real war, last thing you doing is trying to jump right back into a training camp. No.
Shit, Cliff, we could just say this: do a pickup game tomorrow, and don't do no stretching and that. Just go 0 to 100, and then see if you're ready to do a pickup game the next day. You're gonna be sore than a motherfucker.
Well, I'm telling you. Thank you, Scholar. You ain't even got to do no punching. Just do something crazy. I tell you, not even a pickup game. You know what I'm saying? Whatever little exercise routine.
Hey, sleep on the floor. Floor.
You know what I'm saying? Go on and get, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Go on and bust you out, 200 push-ups, 100-something burpees and 100-something squats.
Shit, when I was a kid, Cliff, I was 12 years old, I sleep on the floor all the time. I did that shit when I was like 19, 20. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck going on my back?
Yeah, man. Oh man, I ain't even gonna talk about it now. You know what I'm saying? I'm in my 40s, man. It'd be crazy. It'd be crazy as hell sometimes. I be feeling like I'm younger than the young niggas till I actually start doing some shit sometimes, and then my body
All
say,
right,
"What?"
D said he for the clock in.
Okay. Yeah, shout out to D Young for pulling up. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, you know, it's I really you got more boxing acumen than I do, and I'll cede you that. What do you think about my Spence's only chance for victory? And I stress it like that. I call it his only chance because anything other than what I propose, if he deviates from that in any way, he falls into one of the 3 Terrence Crawford traps. I got more distance than Terrence Crawford, not understanding that there's very few boxers who understand angles, which nullifies length. I can get on the inside, like I alluded to earlier. Terrence Crawford's ambidextrous fighting style, ability to even throw punches and effectively defend and fight when squared up. Not to mention his wrestling ability. That nullifies any I'm gonna try to get in the inside and go crazy on this nigga. No, that's not gonna work.
I think Errol Spence calls himself the big fundamental. He even said he not gonna really do nothing spectacular, right? He gonna do, just the fundamental, the basic stuff. But Bud could do a multiple of things. So it's like how could we predict a fight that we don't? But I don't even think Bud. I think Bud be freestyle. I don't think he know what he gonna do. He fucking he Kendrick Lamar in the booth.
Well, I'm so sorry to cut you off, but that's my point about for EJ to win. He's got to have a game plan that he can freestyle. Like I said, he's got to have a whatever combination that him and his team feel comfortable of closing distance and maintaining distance. He needs to really practice 3 to 4 possible variations of it and get them into his muscle memory. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. A backup plan.
Like that? Did you do shit like that where you had combinations that you had down? You had a 2 rights and a left combination that you would switch up where saying the left might go up top, the left might go up bottom, but yeah, you could with your eyes closed just pop off this little whatever.
My coach taught me that you have combinations for different reasons, right? So because I was a shorter guy fighting the taller guys, he taught me combinations to get me inside, like jab upstairs, jab to the chest, you know what I mean, feint the jab, you know what I mean, different ways of getting injury. But when you're inside, and he would tell me, you're the shorter guy, you got to create openings, and this Spence has to go by this too. It's no secret that his Spence win, it got to be on the inside. He's not going to fuck with Bud on the outside. Bud is a great counterpuncher, good reflexes, very underrated power with really good speed. He has to be in the inside. So when he's in the inside, he has to create openings and he has to work. But I just think that from what I've seen out of Bud, too many, he can make adjustments. I remember Timothy Bradley said he sparred Bud. And this is Bud way back in the day before he was even on the map. He said he knew Bud wasn't no sparring partner because Bud was whooping his ass, basically making him elevate his game. And he said he would go to the film like, I got this motherfucker. I got him. He make this mistake. He said he would go back in the next day and try something, and Bud would already make the adjustment without even knowing. He wouldn't fight him the exact same way. So you're fighting with somebody who could adapt inside the ring. That's going to be hard to beat in itself. And one thing that I'll give Bud the advantage on is that Spence said he wasn't willing to die for this shit. And I'm like, it's got to be a fighter's mindset. If you're going into the toughest fight of your career, you're not willing to die. I get it, man. It's silly to say because you know what I mean? Outside, you gonna die for boxing?
I understand.
But for warriors, Muhammad Ali was willing to die. That's why George Foreman couldn't beat him.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But what did Muhammad Ali do? He resigned himself that I will get hit. And that's the only way I could beat this big sucker. If I could show him that his punches don't do nothing to me and I'll still be right here. And what he said in interviews, I'm paraphrasing it. He knew he had to prove to George, I could take your punch.
Yeah, because you're going to get hit. At some point, of the fight, if we say, let's just say for hypothetically, both fighters get knocked down. Well, one fighter has already told you, I ain't willing to die for this shit. Are you willing to get up? If you've been getting beat on to that point and then you get knocked down, I'm pretty sure Bud is like, shit, yeah, I'm willing to die for this shit. I don't think Spence is, and that's why I give Bud the edge in this fight.
I do. I agree. And then I see someone in the chat alluded to how Bud, like, they'll tell all you're losing the fight and he'll just go and turn up a gear. We've seen Bud say, all right, fuck this. I've only seen Spence in kill mode when there's blood in the water. I've not seen Spence have blood in the water and go from prey to predator on a whim. Like, this is like, listen to the words I'm using. He didn't do this Bud didn't do this on instinct. It was like, oh, I'm losing the fight. All right. And within a minute and 30 seconds, the fight's over.
You know what I'm curious of? I feel like Bud makes better adjustments than Errol Spence, but Errol Spence has a better corner. I'm just curious because Derek James said he don't watch film on fighters. I wonder if he gonna pop in that tape and be like, oh my God, this motherfucker is gifted.
I'll tell you this. I said on a couple other videos, I called cap on that. Because first of all, if you are a trainer who do not watch film, I don't know how you can be my trainer.
Actually, I might as well be Ray Charles. Get Ray Charles to be their trainer.
Right, because I could watch you in the ring, I could whatever. But if I'm like say if I'm in your corner, Stout, I could watch you spar. I could hit the pads with you. I could be a sparring partner, whatever. But as we know, when we do these rewatches, there's something about the angles of being able to pause and rewind. Pause, rewind. Now, see, me, I've got the type of memory where I could do that in my mind, but it's also dope to be able to actually do it physically to where I could explain to somebody, see, when he dips like this, look, this is his tail. You feel what I'm saying? This is what's going on. I don't know. I play football and basketball too. And studying film when you really are taking it seriously. If you're not studying film, I'm looking at you like you're not taking it seriously. For
Yeah, it's not a flex. Like when fighters today be like, I don't even study film. It's like, bro, do you realize Joe Louis lost a fight with not Smelling? What was the guy's name? God damn it. It's late night. I think it was.
Nothing about him. He just thought he'd go in there and beat his ass. No.
It was the guy that Hitler had propped up.
Oh, Goering or whatever. Not Goering.
Smelling. But he looked at still photos of Joe Louis, and he seen that Joe Louis would bring his jab down low. So they came up with a game plan to come over the top of it with a right. And it's like they were utilizing still pictures. It's not a flex. When we got 4K and got all these films and shit to say, well, I don't really watch film. Bro, that's not a flex. You stupid. You going into war not knowing the tendencies of your opponent and the habits? That's retarded.
Yeah, before you go on safari, you got to know what you're hunting. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't take a blow dart to take down an elephant. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's an elephant hunt for elephants. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to know what you're doing. And I really do think that slight pushback about Spence having a better corner. The fact that flew out of that dude's face, either he was being, the only bail I could give him is he was being facetious. If that was any sort of sincerity coming out of Derek James's mouth, then yeah, he's not a better corner. Because trust me, just off of Bud Crawford alone, forget Bomac, this fight has played out so many times in this man's head. This morning. Because I know how I am, and I'm nowhere near at Bud's level of commitment to the sport. You've laced him up. How would you be prior to a fight? Especially
nervous.
Somebody who you've been wanting. That's playing over and over in my. I'm eating breakfast.
Yeah, you can't sleep the night before. You be nervous as shit. Your imagination start making this person King Kong. No matter who it is.
I'm imagining. I'm picturing. I'm visualizing every good thing he does. I'm like I said, I was the type of fighter like you. I'm only 5'9". You feel what I'm saying? So most times I've got to resign myself to have to probably go into some hostile territory to get mines off. And part of my psychological thing was, yes, I'm, in the Hago Kitty, you know what I'm saying? A book about the samurai, you should visualize yourself dying every day. You dig what I'm saying? Bud seeing all the ways he could win and lose in his mind. We're playing it out while he's hitting the pads. He's playing with his kids. If this fight's really on his mind, he's seeing it. And you know why I'm saying that? I see the calm in Bud during the fight. He been there before.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Derek James was capping on the watching film stuff. I think let's shoot him a little bell because I got a good in the mind of Derek James. I don't know exactly what he meant, but I think he was just meaning like he wasn't active in the sport like that. Like he couldn't tell you who Inouye was. He only watched boxing when it's business related. You get what I'm saying? Like if he got a fight coming up, he'll pop in the tapes of Rivera for the Martin fight. But he probably didn't know who Rivera was before that because he's not active in the sport like that. It's just like a business to him.
Yeah. Hey, if y'all guys want to keep cooking up, look, I got to go do something. I keep my channel open. I'm going to drop the link to the panel. Anybody, I'm going to give y'all 2 to 3 minutes to try to jump on the panel so I can add y'all. Scholar, if you could do me a favor, cook up. If not, it'll just be on and whatever. Somebody can jump on panel, but I got to do something and I'll be right back.
You go ahead. I give my overall take on the fight. Man, I don't think it's an easy fight to break down.
So yeah, somebody jump on the panel, man. Cook up with Scholar for a second, man.
If not, I think carry it till you get back. Like I said, it's not an easy fight to break down because I go back and forth with who I think gonna win and why.
Hell yeah. Well, you look. I'm about to get up out of here, and I'll be right back, y'all. Yeah, hey, listen, man. Errol Spence, Terrence Bud Crawford. It is real. They got a date. Bud Crawford has confirmed July 29th. It is happening. Everybody. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You know what I'm saying? This is that shit that y'all been talking about for years. Now they're giving you that shit you love. So show your love. Hey, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I will be right back. And go on ahead, cook up.
So for starters, man, I feel like YouTubers have killed this fight. I feel like the clickbaiting and shit has made me numb to any type of news. Like when this news came out, like bro, the thrill was fucking gone. Like I didn't even get that same emotion that I got when they clickbaited me the first time and they was in negotiations. I got excited as shit. I started looking at hotels in Vegas. I was looking for time off. I was ready, but they went into negotiations for a couple of months and then came out with nothing. And I'm starting to kind of feel like this fight is cursed. It reminds me a lot of when David Haye was supposed to fight Tyson Fury. They were supposed to fight on several occasions. They went in negotiations, fell out. It was the exact same thing. And then when they finally finalized the deal, David Haye gets injured in camp. And David Haye said he's moving on from the Tyson Fury fight because he felt like that fight was cursed. I feel like too many times in boxing, the fighters take fights for granted. I mean, we don't even know if we're going to wake up tomorrow and they sit up here guaranteeing, in their head that we're eventually going to fight. How do you know that? How do you know the fight's going to be the same? How you know you're going to win up until then? I mean, anybody can lose on any given day. I mean, that's how crazy the sport is. We've seen upsets. We've seen Fandora go to sleep by a nobody, put his ass to sleep. So you can't take wins in boxing for granted. And I feel like Errol Spence and Bud have kind of did that. But with all that being said, I'm not going to believe the fight, even if it is finalized. I'm going to keep an eye on Errol Spence's Twitter and see, because he's more active on social media than Bud is. But it's like he left the meeting and didn't tweet nothing. What did he do? Go to bed? What did he do? Go party? I'm not understanding why Errol Spence is not active on his social media account with this. And it's like, I don't like the fact that Bud just posted a picture of him kind of like with the Aquaman spear inside the shark. I mean, that picture was dope as shit. But why y'all talking encrypted messages? He could have just put a date up. He could have put uh book for here. I mean, that's more encrypted, but it's telling us like the fight is actually happening. But he didn't do that. He just put a picture up, and the world went crazy over a fucking picture. And I just don't feel like that's enough concrete because they played with us so much for this fight. That's not concrete evidence that this fight is going to happen. I'm gonna keep an eye on what both fighters say on their social media account, and then I'll believe it when they actually get in the ring and the first bell has gone. Because Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather was two different sports. You know, that fight, a lot of people didn't even think that fight would happen because Dana White, being the boss that he is and the owner of the UFC and fucking his fighters out of money, they thought he wouldn't split the money right with Mayweather. Money Mayweather, he want majority of the pie. But somehow they found out how to get negotiations done. And you mean to tell me that Bud Spence didn't? You get what I'm saying? Like, that's why I don't believe the fight's gonna happen. But for the sake of arguments, let's just say they actually do get the business right and they get their ass in the ring. Like I said, the thrill is gone from me. They're gonna have to get the thrill back in the press conference. They're gonna have to do what Devin Haney did, pushing. They're gonna have to show that they enemies. Because another thing that's a fear of mine is that this fight be like the Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd, where it was a mirage, where people thought, you know, this is going to be the biggest fight. It's an event. You don't want to miss it. And then they got in there and the fight was just a whitewash. Floyd just beat the shit out of Manny Pacquiao, grabbed him and controlled the fight. It wasn't an exciting fight. The only way this fight is not exciting is the fighters have too much respect for each other. That's why I said whenever they was talking on the phone about, you know, kids and shit like that, it bothered me because I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with the fight? Well, anyway, you know what I mean? Do that shit after the fight. Be friends after the fight. I mean, you ain't got to be mortal enemies, but understand this. That man is trying to take your head off just like you should be trying to take his head off. You know what I mean? That makes for better stylistic fights. So I want to see them. They don't have to be enemies, but I want to see a little bit more spark out of them. And if they announce it and they doing a press run or whatever, they doing press conferences and they got that energy, that's what's going to bring a lot of fans to this fight. So now we at the fight, which I don't think is going to happen, but let's, you know, sake of argument, say we finally do get there. No injuries, no nothing. Because remember, he was supposed to fight Manny Pacquiao, but I mean, he had a detached retina in training camp. But let's just say we get all the way to the fight. So how I see this fight playing out is Errol Spence is a big dude. You know, he calls himself Mr. Fundamental. I thought Ugas was going to beat Errol Spence, not because he was more talented, but because he had suffered so much outside the ring, and those pictures were just in the back of my mind. I'm like, okay, if there's ever a time to beat him, it's now. And Errol Spence went in there and shut me up. He went in there and did what he was supposed to do, beat Ugas in the inside and stopped him. You know what I mean? Had his eyes swollen, broke his orbital bone. He really beat Ugas down. So I was very impressed with that. So if Errol Spence gets in the ring with Bud, he's gonna try to apply the same tactics. He's gonna fight outside, maybe first or two rounds, get settled into the fight, and then he's gonna turn it on because everybody knows Bud is notoriously a slow starter because he's a thinker. He's a counter puncher. He likes to download the data. He's gonna start slow. So it's in Errol Spence's best interest to start fast. And if Errol Spence can start fast and bang Bud's body, he stands the best. That's his only path to victory. If he starts off round one boxing, Bud's gonna stop him. It just is what it is. He cannot outbox. He cannot sit on the outside and outbox Bud without giving anybody work. He has to start. He has to look for a entry like he did with Ugas. Because if you go back and look at that Ugas fight, the first round it was a fill out round, and the second round Errol Spence started turning it up a little bit more. And in the third round, his engine was already going. He has to do that with Bud. And I feel like if he do that and get Bud off, because I've seen in the Sean Porter fight, you know, a lot of people who really, really love Bud, they say, you know, like Sean Porter took it easy and all this stuff. And this is me from my personal experience. You ain't taking it easy on nobody, especially at the elite level. Sean Porter's not no bum that you could just sit up there and just slap around the ring. So I don't think he was taking it easy on Sean Porter. I think Sean Porter just invested into the body early, and Bud got fatigued in that fight. If you go back and look at that fight, Bud was breathing through his mouth. He got tired. But what Bud also showed me is that he got a good second win, and he knows how to waste buy time for him to get a rest like he did in the Sean Porter fight. So that's another factor that'll be interesting. So Bud getting a second win, Bud willing to die for the sport. I can't go against. Like I think I'm gonna go and put my money on Bud knocking out Spence. Like they got a rematch clause, but I don't even think it'll get that far. I think Bud knocks out Spence by an uppercut. I think Spence will come out fast, and I think he'll break Bud down early. I think Bud will get a second wind, and I think he'll catch Spence with a counter in the inside because Spence doesn't have a good head movement. A lot of times he rushes his shots and he ends up squaring up, and he did that a lot in the Ugas fight. But the thing is, Bud will take a step to the side or take a step back, and he'll let his offense go. He's more offensive than Ugas, and he'll fight in the inside, as we seen in his last fight. He got that knockout on the inside. So, although I believe both fighters have lost a step, like going back to the earlier fights, looking at them now, I think both fighters have slid just a little bit. Uh, I'm gonna have to lean towards Bud in this fight. I think Bud's mentality, his ability to make adjustments. Like I said, when Timothy Bradley said he sparred him, he said he tried everything he could, and Bud would just make an adjustment on that. And I remember there's a clip on YouTube, if you guys go look, of him and Teddy Atlas sitting down and they're breaking down Bud's film. And he asked Bud, he said, "When you did this move, Bud, did you understand what you was doing?" And Bud was like, "Nah." He was like, basically like it was just his instincts. And I was like, holy shit, he's making adjustments just off of instincts. How could you beat a man like that? So Spence is going into a fight with a guy who could switch in between stances, a guy who's not going to stop fighting if he spits that mouthpiece out, because Bud has like a little mean streak, a little nasty streak. And then he's a very underrated puncher. Like if you go look at if you look at Bud, he doesn't look like a fighter. If you looked at his physique, if you didn't know who Bud was and you walked like the security guard when Bud was trying to go back there, he didn't know Bud was a fighter because Bud doesn't have the physique of a fighter. But if you look at his actual like attributes, like knockouts in the ring, he's a very devastating puncher to be so little. He looks like he needs it, like he needs some IV like with fat in it, or some food or some nutrients or something. But if you look at his knockouts, the people that he hit, not cold, like their career is never the same. Bud turned everybody at 147 Duffy. Now, with that same token that I just said, though, I do not want to see Bud fight Mel. I think Mel is too much man for Bud. I feel like Mel is just as fast as Bud. I don't see no path to victory with Bud. I mean, with Mel. So I think he's biting off too much than he could chew, more than he could chew with Mel. But I think Spence is a very winnable fight. It's just up to how it all plays out with that. I think he should stay at 147. It makes no sense if Bud gets undisputed in two divisions, I mean, and he knocks out Spence in spectacular fashion. Like, who could argue with those numbers? One of the main knocks that you get on Bud is that his resume. Oh, his resume, he ain't really fought nobody, et cetera, et cetera. That's all. If he knocks out Spence, what are they gonna say? They can't use the car wreck because he just beat the shit out of Ugas. So, I mean, they would have to give him his full flowers. But if he goes up and tries to challenge Mel for undisputed, I don't like that fight for Bud. I don't think Bud could beat him in his state now, and I definitely don't think he could beat him after the damage that he's about to take in the Errol Spence fight. Because Errol Spence is gonna work that body. There's no doubt about it. Derek James is his trainer. I mean, we all know Errol Spence's first trainer was a Mexican, so he does a full body attack. So I don't see no way that he doesn't come out there. Like, it's not a secret. It's almost like when Ryan Garcia went in the fight with Tank with an injury to the body. Like, he basically showed you that he was just taking the fight for money, because it's like Tank is a shorter fighter. He's gonna go to your body. Duh, he's supposed to go to your body. So if you went in there with a rib injury with a puncher who's already dangerous, and it just shows me you just took the fight for money. What other reason? You didn't think you could win? Obviously, you said he had a mole in your camp, so he's aware of the body injury. But what? Bud is aware that Errol Spence is going to go to his body, I hope. Well, definitely, because he's been in boxing for a while. I think Errol Spence does have the better trainer, but I think that this fight will come down to a razor hair difference, and I think I'm going to have to just lean with Bud. I'm going to put money on Bud winning that fight. The fight might play out like Castellano versus Charlo one. I don't think so, Ace Retro. I think the fight won't play out like that because the bad intentions that both fighters throw with. Errol Spence throws with bad intentions, and so does Bud. They don't throw scoring shots. Every shot they throw, they trying to get you out of there. And both of them have this mistake. They both take pictures after they throw their shots. Most punchers do that because they so used to like walk off home runs. Q said, "Pause." Would you pause it, Q? What's good, fam? He said, "Wait, give me time to ask you stuff, bro. When you say Spence is a bigger dude, go into it a bit height and lengthwise. What are we talking about? I mean, it's obvious. Philip, he has more denser bones and he has more muscle mass. Even though they weigh the same, you look at them and you can see Errol Spence has more muscle. Hand speed, who? Bud definitely has more hand speed than him. He said, I will open up the panel in 10 minutes. Movement, ring generalship, power, toughness, and ability to survive an onslaught. I'm gonna be honest with you. Both of them take unnecessary shots, and both of them are offensive fighters. And normally, the flaw that offensive fighters make is they're so worried about their offense and them landing punches that sometimes they negate defense. And Bud neglects his defense sometimes, like Errol Spence neglects his. So they both have that flaw. That's why this is such an exciting matchup. He said, I think Bud should move up if he wins, give himself a year to adjust to the weight, then fight a couple non-sluggers, see how he feels on a male fight later in the year. But he ain't got that much time, Philip. You talking about it like Bud is just 30 years old or something. I don't. He didn't got that much time, and I think he knows it. That's why he stays in the gym, and that's why he's chasing legacy now. He says, "Shit, I'm gonna bet on the draw." That's not a bad bet, Ace. I don't see it making it to the final bell, which is why I wouldn't put my money on a draw. The only way that it makes it to a final bell, you know what? Ace? Let me make a case for what the draw, right? The younger you are, the more chances that you take, right? The older that you get, the more conservative that you get. It's just how life goes. That's why you see gangster dudes, and then you talk to them when they in their 40s and 50s, and they got the Muslim kufi on, and they got, you know what I mean? They tell them to stop the violence, but in their 20s, you be like, man, you the same dude that used to shoot people in broad daylight. It's just a natural flow and order of things. So there's a possibility, because they were talking about each other's families on the phone, that they might be in different mental spaces in their life, which means they're going to take less chances, and which means they're not going to they're going to want to make it home to their families, and they're not, you know what I mean? Those two things could be a possible recipe for it, being them having too much respect for each other, and you might end up with a draw, Ace. That's all right. I'm not mad at that. Best corner, Spence by far. Spence by far has the best corner. I've seen Derek James. You know, there's a difference between a trainer and a teacher. Number one, Bud has like 3 different trainers, right? And I remember I got this from Timothy Bradley. Timothy Bradley said when he was in Bud's, when he brought Bud in the spar, he said he was with Bomac, and he said Bud was training himself. That's what Tim Bradley said. I taking Tim Bradley at face value. He said Bud was training himself. He was so surprised that he was as good as he was training himself and then making the adjustments that he did. And if you look at it, it translates to how he fight today. Bud is good at making in-the-ring adjustments without anybody telling him anything. That's why, but Bomac is a product of Bud, not the other way around. Bud being a product of Bomac. Like even the young fighters that come up, they fight similar to Bud because they're sparring with Bud and they get advice from Bud. Like the Keyshawn Davison. It's like fighters like that. They're not asked at Bomac shit, they asked at Bud shit. So Bud has more respect in his own camp because of that. So Derek James is a different beast. He's a teacher. Like, he gonna show you how to do the shit. He gonna get in the ring and correct it then and teach you and drill it into you so you can do it the right way. And then in the fight, he gonna reinforce it, and then he'll make an adjustment in the corner. So by far, Derek James has the best corner. Cliff said the only way I see it a draw is if both get dropped. That would be, I ain't gonna lie, that would be a badass ending, Clips. I wouldn't even be mad at that. If they did it like some Goku and Vegeta shit where they both punch each other at the same time and then both knock each other. I'm not gonna lie, I would be crunk. Even though it's a crazy ending, I would be crunk as shit. He said, so if it is where me, I would tell Bud can do whatever you want to do, and we can chase the money, or whatever because Spence, Boots, Bud might get into those conversations. Philip, I personally think that, and this is what I told my homeboy when was talking off air. I said because I like both Bud and Spence, and I like them equally. Because I remember Spence was supposed to be the guy coming in. They asked Freddie Roach a long time ago, "Hey, who's going to be the guy?" And he said Spence. And then Spence got that boost from whenever he buzzed Adrian Broner and sparring, and then gave Floyd the alleged black eye. And then it was history from then. Everybody loves Spence, but I like both of those fighters equally, and I feel like both of them had slid because I paid attention to them when early in their career compared to now. But I think at this point, Bud's more active. He's in the gym. You know what I mean? He's never out of shape. He's more disciplined, and he's willing to die. So he's beating Bud on the front end, and then he's beating him on the back end. But I feel like the damage that both of these fighters will take in the fight will diminish both of them as a fighter because I feel like they're already on the slide, and I think Boots and Virgil and all those young guys are just sitting there waiting for this fight to happen. Because of that, they want to come in and be the cleanup man. They want to come in and beat them while they're damaged goods. So that's kind of why I wanted them to go. Like when they was doing all these negotiations, go clean up the young guys and then come back, make the Undisputed me more. Because if it's like John the Beast Mugabe, he was never the same, even though he was young after Marvin Hagler knocked him out. If one of these guys get knocked out, they would never be the same. And I think that's what Boots and those guys are dependent on. Said it's possible clips we will see within the first 4 rounds. I agree. I'll notice within the first round because I already know how Bud's gonna start. Bud's gonna start off downloading, but if Spence starts off really really fast, we got ourselves a good ass fight. So also, if Bud stays healthy, he can go another few more years. Honestly, man, I haven't seen him slow down. Man, you gotta go look at Bud with the dreads. Bud with the dreads, and then Bud when he fought Horn, that was the best version of Bud because Horn, he beat Manny Pacquiao. You know, a lot of people thought Manny Pacquiao was robbed, but anyway, it was a close fight because he used his physicality. He was really physical in there and just using his size. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna see if Bud will have that same problem because Manny Pacquiao can punch, you know, and he's fast. He has a lot of attributes too. I said, let me see if he's gonna implement the same game plan on Bud. Let me see if it's effective. Bud, not only was it ineffective, but Bud ended up knocking his ass out, bro. And that's when I knew Bud was like, yeah, y'all can't doubt this. This man is here, man. He's a problem at 147. Said I agree that neither fighter will walk away from the fight different. I agree. It's impossible. If this fight is everything that we agree that it's supposed to be, then yeah, I don't see how either fighter walks. One fighter gonna limp away. One gonna limp away and one gonna be asleep. So yeah, but technically it's way different for fighters to recover and overall health. I don't get what you're saying, Philip. Yeah, but technically it's way different for fighters to recover and overall health. There's no way you can heal your brain. I mean, there's no way you could do that. So the damage that they have gonna last forever to the day they go. I've seen Bud with dreads, and I think that Bud has improved 10 times that level of dreads. Bud was sloppy. Nah, dread Bud was fucking cold. He was a smaller Deontay Wilder, in my opinion, with power in both hands. He was knocking shit dead, and he was really vicious and mean. I remember I did a live one time, and I was talking about how Bud reminded me of James Toney. And everybody was like, James Toney? The fuck is nigga talking about? This nigga smoking? And then comes out, James Toney said Bud reminds him most of him. Because I seen that mean streak. Like, I don't know if everybody had the privilege of seeing James Toney coming up, but James Toney was a fucking beast, man. James Toney would fight you in the press conference. James Toney would fight you in the mall, at your mama's house. He would come in the gym, point at everybody in the gym and say, "He'll whoop their ass," trainers and all. Say he fight everybody from heavyweight to their mama weight. There's a clip of him saying it on the internet. Go look it out. Go check it out. James Toney, it was a beast. And he was really competitive. He walked around with the chips on his shoulder, and that's what Bud reminds me of. Bud is really mean. Said they may not suffer brain injuries, bro. We don't know until we know. Shit. Let me tell you this, Philip. Just sitting around in the living room, you know what I mean? You're just getting older naturally. And there's some people who never took a punch and have brain effects on their brain, right? It can't be healthy for you. That's all I'm gonna say. May not be bad for you, but it can't be healthy for you. There's no way punching somebody to the head, taking hits to the head is good for your overall health. And there's no way to repair neurons. Our body don't repair neurons. So, I mean, that being said, it depends on if James Toney was in shape or not. James Toney was cold fat. James Toney was cold in shape. That's one of my favorite fighters of all time. James Toney was a bad boy. Now he reminds me of Pretty Boy Floyd, the way he analyzes. You talking about Bud? So yeah, James Toney had all the heart and skills to back it up. Ice color, but it could be a one-hitter quitter. Shit, even a one-hitter quitter. You know, Philip, that's the one I like about boxing that I hate about UFC is that UFC, if a guy could be winning a fight and then he trip, you know what I mean? He backing up and he loses footing. In boxing, referee gonna stand you up, clean your gloves off, pursue the action. In MMA, you trip, it's over, bro. It's over, bro. You trip, you get clipped, and they're gonna hop on you and throw a whole bunch of little rabbit punches. There's no overcoming. And I feel like boxing is more relevant to life, where you get knocked down and you can get back up. You know what I mean? And you can win the fight. I think UFC is kind of like barbaric, bro. Like kneeing and kicking, and then if a guy is fucked with his hands in boxing, he basically gonna lose the fight. In MMA, he can just take you to the ground and beat you or lay on you for 5 rounds. I think they go 5 rounds or 3 rounds in a 5-round championship fight, some shit like that. But that's why I don't like MMA. That's why I love the sport of boxing. It represents overcoming. Rocky made it to the Hall of Fame. Rocky Marciano made it to the Hall of Fame based off of fictionally overcoming something that wasn't real. So yeah, Tony had all the heart and skills to back it up. Fast scholar, but he could be one killer. Yeah, but he consistently training too. But that's why I love boxing. It's the possibilities are endless. I agree, Philip. I agree. But yeah, I don't think I wouldn't compare Bud to Mayweather. I think Bud is. I think Bud is in his own category. I don't even think Pretty Boy Floyd. I think if we could go in a time capsule and put Pretty Boy Floyd against Bud, I think Bud would beat him. I think Bud would clip Pretty Boy Floyd. We're talking about a 12-round championship fight. I think that's too much time to give Bud to land on Mayweather. And even though people think Mayweather has only been hurt a couple times, he's been hurt several times. People just didn't notice it. Like Zab Judah hurt him several times throughout that fight. Bud could switch to the southpaw position, take away the shoulder roll. I personally think that Bud would beat Pretty Boy Floyd, but hey, that's my opinion. Yeah, I didn't gave my spiel clips. I'm finna go ahead and hop up off of this, man. Rocky made it to the Hall of Fame portraying Joe Frazier's life. He did, Reggie. He did. Matter of fact, Reg, I think Jerry gonna pull up with the smoke for what you talk about that shit, man. He ain't stole nothing from that pure-hearted. That white man ain't stole nothing from that black dude. That pure-hearted white man. He said, no, his defense is not even close, but I just mean the version of himself. He thinks friends more. This is why I separate those two, Philip. I feel like Bud is disrespectful, bro. I'm gonna just keep it all the way real, bro. Bud would have to get the beats in real life if I was in the boxing world, bro, and he would try to treat me like he's treating these fighters, bro. He put up on Spence. I know you seen the video. And then, like, he basically telling Spence, I'm going to whoop you and your homeboy. Like, can you imagine as a fighter, bro, you're supposed to be the elite, and then somebody pulling up on you, telling you they'll whoop you and your homeboy, bro? That's kind of disrespectful, bro. So I think he's running to the danger. I think Floyd was doing the opposite. I think Floyd was running to the money. He didn't care about the danger. He wanted to make the most money. I don't think Bud cared about money. I think Bud cared about legacy, to be talking about fighting Charlo, even though I think Charlo would beat the shit out of Bud. And that's saying a lot because I think highly of Bud, but yeah, he ain't fucking with no Charlo. Yeah, Reggie. He gonna pull up with the smoke for you, Reg. Talk about Joe Frazier, man. Rocky ain't stole nothing from that folk black man. He's a pure God-fearing American, man. They don't steal. Hey, I wonder how Jerry felt about Devin Haney, because I feel like Jerry is And Jerry is what boxing promoters count on. Boxing promoters sell race. It's the one thing. They're like pussy, man. Pussy is the one thing in the economy that never loses value, no matter what. The economy doing bad, pussy still gonna sell. That's how race is in boxing. And promoters know that shit. They know the moment that you invoke race, people gonna shut down their rationale. Jerry said he used to like Haney. He said he stopped liking Haney because Haney said he'll never let a white boy beat him. Jerry is exactly what a promoter's dream is, because he's still gonna buy tickets to see Haney fight. He just a turncoat. Perfect. That's perfect for, in my mind, for a boxing promoter. So, Scholar, I only say Floyd to give you a picture of my thought process. I mean, Bud thinks more now than he did when he was younger, and he could keep fighting like he was. I think all American racist. That's hilarious. Jerry being extremely kind on this Devin Haney win. Damn, so Jerry ain't even pulled up. That's hilarious. Jerry been burning crosses in people's yard. Damn, man, why y'all do my boy Jerry like that, man? That's hilarious, though. That shit is hilarious. Jerry burning crosses in people's yard. But yeah, I think that I get what you're saying, Philip. I get what you're saying with the comparison. I don't know, man. I don't know about Floyd and Bud. I think they got different mentalities, and their styles are way different too. I think all the stuff that they give Boots credit for, they were saying Boots would beat Roy Jones and all this crazy shit. They just skipped over. They just skipped over Bud, bro. Like Bud does those same things. Said, bro, you can hear the anger in Jerry when he says, he say 80 years, bro. Jerry be fucking pissed. Jerry pull up with that raspy ass cigarette voice, man, talking about black fighters, bro. Jerry always pull up for the race conversations too, man. I'm starting to believe that. I used to think different, man. Like, nah, I don't think Jerry racist. I don't know. Like Mark say, put a case on him, man. I think Jerry might be. He might be at the Klans meeting right now. Hey, me, that's hilarious. Yeah, Clips, I'm finna hop up off here, man. I'm finna hop up off here, man. It's 6:15 where I'm at. Y'all got me up here talking about Jerry gonna have smoke for me every time I pull up on Mark channel from now on. You know he held grudges too. He forgot what Devin Haney said in 2017. He gonna slip up all night and be like, fuck you niggas. That's right. Hey, facts, man. Jerry gonna hate me for this. Hey, Jerry, I'm just playing, man. Matter of fact, I ain't even black. I ain't even black, Jerry. If I go to, man, yeah, I ain't even black, Jerry. I don't even know these people. I'm an honorary black. Clips them, they just accepted me because my mama black, but my daddy white. My daddy got good credit. So Jerry, don't be mad at me, man. Said HOD did. HOD, man. Y'all already know about HOD. That's my bitch. HOD is my booty, man. If y'all see anybody flirting with me, y'all let me know. Because HOD is mine. Said he was on Coach channel one day and he was pissed when Coach called him out on his BS. Jerry was? He said Jerry shining up his slave patrol. Hey, Red, nah, hold up, Reg. We ain't finna sit up here and act like he ain't cook you in that debate, Reg. He had you flipping through. Hold up, Reg. He had you flipping through pages, Reggie. Come on, man. He had you flipping through pages, Reggie. He had you Googling stuff, man. Nah, we ain't gonna let you do that, Reg. We ain't gonna let you play that pure-hearted white man. Yeah, Reggie. Yeah, Reggie. I ain't gonna lie, Reggie. I thought you was gonna cook him, man. I thought you was gonna 30 him, man. Philip said you got cooked too, bro. Said HOD was on one tonight on Mark's show. He's mad that Spence and Crawford outshined T.O. HOD is a weird individual, man. I never seen that. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I wish I had that type of loyalty for like as a content creator, bro. I wish I had somebody to ride for me like that. HOD be riding harder for Tio than his wife.
I want to thank the boxing scholar for being a good brother and keeping this thing cooking. Oh my God, I just went around the world in however many minutes that was. And thank you, Boxing Scholar, for keeping it all the way cool and keeping that energy right. Reggie, don't you take no shots at Reggie after you let Clint Eastwood take you out back and teach you a good old lesson, you little young punk. Hey, Scholar said he had Reggie flipping for shit.
Hey, man, hey, I showed up to see you know how Django ended up in the end killing the white man. That's what I thought was gonna happen with Reggie and Jerry. I showed up to see that shit. When I heard Reggie flipping through pages, man, I was like, oh man.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. You can hear the pages fluttering in the background. I was like, no, say it ain't so. Like, not my
Me
guy.
too, man. I was like, God damn, Reg, come on, man. I think Reg underestimated Jerry, man.
Oh yeah. You know, Jerry was ready, you know what I'm saying? He stood in the dark room and said nigga about 3,000 times, got out of his system that way. He wouldn't feel the urge. And he calmly just went through, what he felt like saying. And yeah, I got Reggie on the back foot.
Hey, shit. I was about to fan man the situation clips. I was for the call in the Mark Nash show and stop the debate, man. I was for the fan man that shit. I was gonna call it and just say some random shit.
You was gonna be like Floyd's people during the Zab Judah fight.
Facts.
He was my nigga. Hold on, man. Let's get in this ring. Hold on. Wait a minute. Stop this shit.
I was gonna call in and say some stupid shit like, Jerry, January 6th, and then hang up the phone to say some shit to throw him off. Get Reggie to edge again.
Yeah. Just say Donald Trump or something like that, or just get him going.
Donald Trump on trial. He just lost his trial. Jerry be like, what the fuck? I gotta lead this debate.
He said, I gotta grab my sheet. Honey, grab the tiki torches. Let's go. Fuck this shit. Not my president.
That's hilarious. But yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I was a little disappointed, Reg. I thought you was gonna cook him, man.
But you still my nigga, Reg. Hey, matter of fact, Reg, come on, man. Get up on here and talk this shit now. No. Fuck that Twitter. We ain't gonna do them Twitter fingers up here, man. Come on, man. Just smoke signals, man. Put that shit in the air, man.
He said, y'all scared of Jerry Rope if y'all thought I lost. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. That Rope is kind of scary, Reg.
Yeah, I don't even like that. I don't even like how that sounds from a racial sense, and then just also, me personally, ain't no goddamn man doing shit with his rope with me involved. I bet you that goddamn much. Boy, hey, we ain't even gonna do all that. You know what I'm saying?
He said, nigga, it's late as hell. Man, it's early. What you talking about, Red? Hey, Clips, are you going to the fight?
I said it already a couple times. When you first let us know with Breaking Beats, I jumped on this little website where I could get little cheap flights. I found a dope ass deal on some round trips from from Akron to Vegas. That was for nothing during the weekend of the fight. For a little bit of nothing, like less, round trip, less than like $800. But so I said, okay, I put the bookmark on that, and I started looking around for Airbnbs and hotels around that weekend. And yeah, I'll probably just be buying a pay-per-view because I didn't even get a chance to even look at tickets for the fight. Just looking at the hotels, I said, ooh, yeah, this fight ain't shit, but goddamn, I'm a grown-ass man. I ain't dependent on nobody to give me no couch or nothing like that. You never know. It's Vegas, too. I might end up trying to fuck something. You know what I'm saying? Like, our niggas married. I'm single to the bitch. Let me out. I'm still outside. I know I'm old, but I'm still outside. Don't have to get it twisted. You know what I'm saying?
I can't miss it, man.
Yeah, so
I gotta be there.
I don't blame you. I want to be there. Like, you don't understand. Like, honestly, this brought me really, 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 like, I never really left boxing. But Deontay Wilder, I was a big fan. And that's how I actually got into the whole YouTube shit, to be honest. Deontay Wilder, versus Fury 1 happened. And, I used to fuck around on Scotty's show. That's how I met Mark. And so, you know what I'm saying? We on OG World Combat talking about Deontay Wilder. And then on them shows, I got to meet some people. And I noticed anytime we was doing boxing talk, the guppies would just, like I said, as somebody who, you know what I'm saying, I know the sport. I participated in the sport. You know what I'm saying? I've laced up my hands. I've actually stepped in the ring. I've actually had to train, all this other shit. I didn't like the way they was talking about Bud. And I was already a Bud fan. And so that's why I started trolling back. And then the denial just kept going. It kept going. It kept going. It kept going. And so now I'm like 3 years in. Yes, I need to be at this fight. But, you know what I'm saying, realistically, am I going to break the bank? And because if I go out there, I want to go out there and be able to enjoy myself. And right now, I'm just, that shit's already running up sky high. So, yeah, they can probably get my pay-per-view money. They can get this quick little $100 out of me. That ain't nothing.
And that shit finna be thorough, bro. That event, that shit finna be thorough. I bet I'm willing to bet this. They ain't even got this on Bet US, but I bet it's gonna be a fight in the arena.
Man, who you telling? That's what I said. I want to go out there, right? Because first of all, like I was laughing when Mark was talking about, you can't just buy one seat. I'm like, first of all, them big money fights, that's like a swinger club. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to bring a bitch to be able to come in. You come in by yourself, you definitely paying, you know what I'm saying, way more than everybody else. And so, like, you know what I'm saying? If I'm going to go out there to Vegas, spend this money and shit like that, well, you goddamn right. You know what I'm saying? I might bring me some sand to the beach. You know what I'm saying? As long as the sand like sand. You know what I'm saying? And, just something, just something nice, you know what I'm saying? Something to flex on the arm at the fight. And let's just be honest, this thing's been chippy between the fan bases. So the niggas might get knocked out before these motherfuckers do their ring walk.
Shit, I'm gonna be out there with my homeboy. Ain't nobody fuck with him named Ja Morant. That motherfucker gonna be out there strapped tooth and nail.
Hey, yo, hold on, wait a minute, hold on, I'm on bullshit. What John Morant gonna be on the bullshit? He gonna be out there. John Morant gonna be standing next to you like this.
Yep. Hell yeah. They go, they be like, man, that's that nigga the boxers. I've been waiting for that nigga to go see John Morant. Be like, oh, nah, never mind. That nigga strapped.
Pull up like, y'all better not. Y'all better not. Y'all better not.
Facts.
You're gonna be like, man, he got the little uglies with him. Yeah, he got the uglies. Look at the little uglies.
Damn, Ace Retro, you must be a travel agent or some shit. Yeah. He said his Priceline deal is about $475 for 4 days and hotel. That's a good ass deal.
God damn, hell yeah, shit. Let me fuck with you, god damn it. Shit. Can I get a discount if I use you as a referral?
Phil Status, what's up, bro? Philip said Jerry kicked in your lungs, Reggie. Damn, man, why you doing my boy Reggie like that? His suit was heavy that day, man. I think Reggie was wearing a heavy suit.
And then, you know what I'm saying? Then they spiked his water. And then Jerry had the egg weights. Remember Jerry?
Yeah, Jerry had egg weights, man. I can't accept that.
And then Jerry did Reggie so bad. He did Jerry, like, you know what I'm saying? He had to give Reggie the business one time. It was terrible. It was just terrible what happened to the man. It was just like, God damn.
Hey, I was so surprised because, fucking Reds could debate, man. And then Jerry over there with a losing argument. This nigga arguing that Roy Jones was overrated. What the fuck are you talking about?
Man, had you would have told me Reggie would have lost that debate, I'd have been like, man, come on, man. That shit ain't. Honestly. Yeah. But then, nah.
So I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Well, I remember being in the chat that day and everybody was overwhelmingly saying Reggie won. My blackness kicked in. It was like, no, my blackness will not permit me to say those words. Draw.
If I recall, I believe I was a judge. And I know what I would like to hear and what I wanted to happen. But by round 2, I found myself just really just kind of like, I don't know, Reg. I was like, eh. And the thing that was pissing me off was Jerry kept repeating himself a lot to very countable points. And Reggie didn't even knock down.
Man, hold up. My inner Umar calling that. Man, Reggie cooked that nigga. Jerry. You know what? I feel like this, man. I feel like he did better than expected. So maybe because he did better than expected, our expectation was too high. Reggie, we thought Reggie lost. Because I do remember him arguing with the judges after the end. You know, a nigga do that, they lost. Adrian
yeah.
Martin, I beat that boy.
Reggie debated the shit out of all of us judges. Didn't have no smoke for Reggie, like that fighter who lost the fight. He got knocked out and got up and started whooping on the ref. And, you know what I'm saying? Throwing shit and had all this damn energy. He's arguing with motherfuckers in the crowd, and it's like, bruh, that you would have did that like 3 minutes ago.
Hey, that's. I was gonna bring up a point you brought up earlier when you was talking about the film study of Derrick James.
Yeah.
Boots said he don't do no fucking film watch. I'm like, bro, that's not a flex, bro. That's why Karen went 12 rounds with you.
Exactly. And you saw that in that fight that Boots was confused. Boots had no ability to adjust, but he stuck to the game plan and it was able to work because of the level of Cam. If Cam had enough experience for the skill level to capitalize on Boots' confusion, Boots would no longer be a prospect and contender.
Bro, black people be saying the wrong shit after Boots went 12 rounds with him. They start calling them Crocs.
Yeah,
I thought that nigga Puss in Boots.
Yeah. I mean, it was a bad showing. It was not, and especially, and that's kind of why, like, I think that a lot of people with the Haney hate and the people who are saying robbery, it was a travesty, I'll never watch boxing again, fuck out of here. I think the people who are saying that are because, this was your showcase. This was the time when, sometimes, they the Al Davis just win, baby. That doesn't really cut it because how you win does matter, especially in combat sport.
Shit, I think he fucked himself by guaranteeing a knockout and then not watching film on his opponent, and then he's watching Mike Tyson film. Why the fuck are you watching film on Mike Tyson? You ain't fighting Jesse Ferguson.
Hey, you know what it was? Motherfucking Boots thought he was motherfucking Damon Wayans and Great White Hype. He just gonna sit there and smoke
Dolomite tapes.
He gonna watch Dolomite and get himself hyped up. You know what I'm saying? He gonna wait to the scene when Dolomite got to cuss out the white man. And now I'm ready to fight.
He back there smoking a cigarette. Now I'm pissed off.
Hey, you remember that? The Reverend came up to him. May the Lord bless you.
Negro saved that shit.
Niggas grow up.
Yeah, that's my favorite boxing movie.
Because I always said that movie was so deep on so many levels that a lot of the deep little jewels in the movie was hidden in the comedy, and it was like I knew so many people missed it. I mean, we could do a fucking watch party on this movie, and I bet you know what I'm saying, real boxing aficionados, when we're talking about things that was happening during the 90s and how the political landscape was becoming what it is now. They was talking about that in that movie.
Hey, even from the ring call out afterwards.
Exactly.
Devin Haney Shakur just did that shit with Devin Haney. And to me, this is my personal opinion. When I look at Shakur, man, Shakur has been calling Loma's name when he was at 126 for years, when the fight wasn't even realistic. And then I seen him on a live with Devin Haney, and they said we're going to make the fight in the future. So why show up after his win when people are throwing bottles and shit in the ring, and then you say he ran? Like, Shakur be clout chasing like a motherfucker.
I don't think he's clout chasing. I really do think that Shakur is the boogeyman, truly, of that. The young kings, the Tank, Devin, Shakur. We got to take Garcia out of there because Tank got him out of there. We got to take Tio out that conversation because Kambosos took him out of there, and Tio took himself out of there by going up a weight class. So of those three that we know, it's really just about opportunity and negotiating terms and a weight within a 5-pound difference for these motherfuckers to meet at. These are the three that you could see. And I honestly see Shakur beating both of them. I see neither a Shakur Haney or Shakur Davis going to the cards? I see Shakur stopping both of them.
I don't know, Clips. I ain't that high on Shakur. I think Shakur overrated.
He might be, but I think what Shakur does in the last couple fights I've seen from him, I think what he does, I think he hits hard enough to where Tank already admits that if he gets hit hard, he don't like it. You know what I'm saying? To where I think he gets hit hard enough and he's smart enough that when Tank tries to do his little springboard punch to try to multiply his power and catch you coming in, Shakur will set a trap for him where he'll feint. Tank will think that's a punch. Tank will shoot his shot, and Shakur will hit him with what Tank tried to hit Shakur with. And then I just see Shakur being able to box with Tank, and eventually, I'm able to box with Devin Haney. And then when Devin Haney, as he's shown you in his past two fights, starts saying, fuck it, I'll just go ahead and brawl, that's when Shakur will show him the difference, because Shakur will sit down on everything.
I don't know. I watched a video where Tank was like, they was asking him about Shakur, and he basically was like, look, man, Shakur didn't even have power at 126. He was like, if we fought, he basically saying like, he don't even got enough power for me to respect him. And he was like, he'll eventually knock Shakur ass out. And I believe it, bro. If they fought today, bro, I put money on Tank, bro. I'm not that sold on Shakur. I feel like Shakur's resume, bro, they always knock Bud for his resume. But Bud resume is more impressive than Shakur's. Shakur's like best name on his resume is probably like Oscar Valdez, a guy who got questionable wins before the questionable Lopez win. Like I feel like Lopez beat the shit out of him and got robbed in that fight.
And those are all valid points. Like I'm not gonna give you no pushback or no retort or nothing like that, because those are valid points. Because as much as I do see Shakur winning against Tank, that's the head movement, and I think he's a little more defensively sound than some of the other people that Tank has fought and won't get suckered in to that quick little left hook, or that, like I said, I act like you're hurting me and I can lunge in being a shorter guy and catch you like that. I don't see Shakur going for that. But you pointed out Tank's power. If Tank was able to land something nice, that would be interesting to see.
Did you watch? Did you hear what Paulie said about Haney?
Man, fuck Paulie, man. Fuck him right in this sweet little pussy.
Hey, you know what? You know what nobody brought up, man. Paulie bet Bill Haney that the fight wasn't even gonna happen, and then he said if the fight happens, he was gonna put Paulie TV up. That's why he's so invested in Devin Haney getting Aloma getting robbed by Devin Haney, because he don't want to delete that channel.
I'm talking about, you're talking Haney Kambosos 1 build up. I was done with Paulie. Like this is before Haney Kambosos 1. Hearing just like it was kind of like I was joking in the chat with Jerry. Haney, you could just hear it. I get it. I get it, bro. You know, there's certain people I don't like neither. You know what I'm saying? But you know, if anyone knows, you know, that has talked to me for more than a few minutes, you know, even if I don't like you, if I really don't, whatever, I'll either keep it very brief, or I'll stand on, yeah, I'm saying this the way I'm saying this, because fuck that dude.
Man, this was my takeaway of how crazy the boxing world is, Clips. So sometimes they overreaction make me feel like I'm the crazy one. So they was more concerned about. Did you watch the Nakatani fight?
Man, that was the one that was the one that I loved. That was the one that that night I even came on Mark's pedal, because I was livid. I was at work, I was typing, man, oh my god, like I was like, what the fuck? I was so mad at Maloney's corner. Oh my god, shout out to Maloney. What heart, what a warrior, with such unnecessary shit. At sometimes you've got to hold your mans down. You know, if this was the street, that was when you jump in and either break it up or fuck it. You know what? No, we're just jumping this dude, because obviously that was going to only end the way it ended. You feel me?
So did the referee stop it or the corner stopped it?
No, they told Maloney. The referee came the very last round. He's getting his mom. I'm talking about he's getting whooped. He's getting salt. He's getting pepper, a splash of Mrs. Dash. He's getting it all. He put some Joey Satcheries, all that shit on this boy, little Lowry's. Oh, some goddamn rub. I'm talking about the applewood rub. You know what I'm saying? Those smoked cherry wood shit all on him, man. Boy. All the seasons and all the vitamins and minerals he needs in life. And then they go to Maloney in the corner. The corner says, you got to show me something or we're just going to stop this. The ref says, you got to show me something or we're going to stop this. Doctors say to Maloney, you got to stop this. He says, I'm good because he's a game fighter with heart. Shout out to Maloney. That boy goes out there within 30 seconds. All of a sudden, you just hear like it sounds like a shotgun going off. You know what I'm saying? A muffled shotgun.
Okay, I didn't know that. See, I had the volume down, so I didn't know that they warned him and stuff. I seen a premature stop it.
He went out there, and it was like what? And it was like literally 30 seconds. He goes out there, they square up a little, pawing for position, and then Nakatani finally landed that. I think it was a right or a left. It was just a quick little boom, and it was like, why? He didn't need that. This fight was over. He showed you at no point that he was game rooster to land that point, that Sunday punch. Like there was no success where, yeah, okay, he's getting beat up, but he's still having moments of success. It's like, no, man, wave this off. You've got, at some point, somebody's got to love you.
Oh shit, Clips. I'm thinking about the wrong person. Not Nakatani, the black dude.
Which one?
He was on the same card. God damn it. I'm fucking horrible with names.
You're talking about Nakatia.
Nakatia, that stoppage.
All right, Nakatia, yeah, that was, well, Matai, they was kind of quick, but Matai was hitting him with that pepper. He wasn't going down, but he was in the corner looking like he was getting swarmed by bees. And I really think it could have been an early stoppage, but some of Nakatia's flailing kind of forced the issue. I think his flailing made Mortalia's flurry more dramatic than it probably was.
But just a week or two before, they were saying Rolly was the worst stoppage ever in history. That was more premature than Rolly.
Well, the Rolly stoppage was disgusting because it was clearly a situation of I'm kicking your ass the whole fight, boxing scholar, and then the minute you get some success, you know what I'm saying? Here he comes. Like, I always feared that for Floyd Mayweather, and I'm so grateful to him for finally retiring, because that's what I feared his last 7 to 8 fight was that, as I noticed this with the first Maidana fight, anytime Floyd had got to the point where anytime anyone had any success against Floyd Mayweather, oh my God, he won that round. Oh, Floyd was about to go down. Oh, did you see this shit? And, I feared that Floyd would be in a fight where the fuckery would be real. And God forbid the dude lands 3 clean punches. You would see the ref just jump in the middle and start waving his arms. And you would see Floyd doing I'm fine, you know what I'm saying? Doing the whole, what do you mean? What do you mean? And I really did not want that, And so I'm so grateful that he was able to end his professional career without falling victim to the bullshit, because that happens a lot in the sport. There's a lot of 1 and 2 loss fighters who technically are still undefeated.
But this is why I said I feel like sometimes I be going crazy, Clips, because I watched that fight and you know what I'm saying. I felt like it was stopped premature. The was it Nicotinia? What was the name again?
Nakatali or some shit.
Nakatali. When I watched that fight, I said, okay, it was premature, but what it is, what it is. But then I looked at the next Lopez versus Valdez fight. Lopez beat Valdez, bro. Valiant effort. Like he even got hit, but at the last round, broke his nose, and he still made the last round dramatic and still finished and got robbed in the fight. And I feel like Paulie and those guys who talk about Lomo was a close fight, but it was a robbery. It can't be both. A close fight means there's swing rounds in there, right? So it means It can either go one way or the other. How is it a robbery then? Like, I feel like if they're not talking about the Lopez versus Valdez fight, they just as crazy as everybody else. People only care about the superstars in boxing. What about Lopez?
No, I agree with you. Half of the main evils, because there is no true boxing union. You just have these different little alphabet cartels who hoard over the sport. And there's no uniformity and everything in the sport. we still see it somewhat in MMA, but we're starting to see them clean it up and, said having clear criteria for when, okay, stop the fight. We don't see that in boxing, like you're saying. Like literally, we'll watch a whole card, like you just detailed, and we'll see somebody who, okay, you got hit with 4 or 5 clean shots, you're on your feet. You may have been wobbled, but you didn't go down. But here comes the ref stopping it. And then literally the next fight, it's like, some fucking Roman Coliseum shit where, you know what I'm saying, there's all sorts of blood on the dance floor. And the refs just looking at them like, kill each other. I don't give a shit. And I think that's what really is a turnoff in the sport. And it's and then because there is that disparity and there hasn't been that consensus on what defines what, that allows casual fans to fuck this, fuck that, fuck this, or this is a robbery, as well as the biased fans spin their narratives. Because like you said, their guy, Loma, doesn't get the decision. Oh, it was a close fight, but it was a robbery. Both can't be true, like you just pointed out. It just can't happen. You know what I'm saying? If it is close, then it is what it is. That's how that judge saw it. And if you saw it differently, well, then you should have got sanctioned by that state's athletic commission and been the judge.
Facts. I heard somebody say, man, the crowd was booing. Well, shit, why even have judges in if we going by that? Why not just do it like they do it in who gets the loudest cheer at the end? Put your hand over Loma's head and then put your hand over Devin Haney's head. Whoever get the loudest cheer win if we going to go by that stupid ass logic. But you know what's crazy? I heard Nelly say, man, it was a draw at best. Like, Nelly, do you stand? He like, I'll never watch boxing. You doing us a favor, Nelly. Shut the fuck up. Apple bottoms.
When Nelly said that, now listen, now I love you know what I'm saying, shout out to my dirty, but I was like, Cornell, get your monkey ass off this social media. Get in the studio, get home, get the fuck on something. Get off this social media. Like, that's like me saying, oh, well, if Spencer Crawford doesn't happen on July 29th, I'll never watch boxing again. And
yeah, he gonna stop watching boxing for a fight that he said was a draw at best. And they ended up going the other way. Like, Nelly, do you understand the sport? That's why when I see like Lil Wayne, I like Lil Wayne, man. He's probably one of the best rappers of all time. When I see him on Sports Take, it's like, why? Why? That's not his forte. He it's like bringing a shark, you know what I mean, in the jungle and praising him for being a shark. He ain't a shark in the jungle.
I get it. They want they want to try to stay relevant, and they understand how certain sports are so intertwined with the culture, and they know that many of us know we may not be professional boxers or whatever, or you might be a rapper, singer, whatever, but you're somebody who they always see ringside. You done came out to Floyd's ring walk and everything. You've been a part of some epic moments in boxing to where they want color. Like, I think they have them niggas on there for color commentary, and I think a lot of times they forget that that's what they're there for, and they really be thinking they're actually commentating and they're actually analysts, and I don't like that, because I don't like my rappers turning into Larry Merchant.
Agreed. I like
Larry Merchant's gone, and let that era of the armchair motherfucking quarterback commentator go. I like how they're doing it. T.O. don't like them, but the beautiful thing about when Andre Ward and Tim Bradley call a fight is these are two Hall of Fame champions.
Well, hello, because Milk Dud head ass Tim Bradley came out and said he rescored the fight for Devin Haney, and I was like, how ironic is it that that the reason that people think Loma was robbed was Timothy Bradley's commentating, and then he comes back and say, hey, I rewatched it. I had Haney winning the fight. Oh my God.
Well, no, I had it close. I didn't call robbery, but if you can go, there's tape on it. You just go on and hit up Mark Nash in real time. I said, well, I can see the argument that someone could say Loma won. Now, when we did that rewatch, I ended up 7-5, 8-4 Haney, to where I saw some more things. I think that a lot of the Oh man, fuck that man. Nah, Devin lost. Comes from the fact of how beatable he looked.
Yeah,
That makes
the bar was too high. They thought it was going to be an easy fight for Dev. So anything below that, they think is a Devin Haney loss.
exactly. I always use the hip hop metaphor. I'm a big Wu-Tang fan. I don't know if you're familiar, but I've always felt like Inspector Deck was probably one of the most perfect MCs, illest verses, never a wasted bar. But the problem with Inspector Deck was he was so textbook great, he got overshined by some cats who are actually nowhere near as good as him. But you know what I'm saying? It was like anytime Inspector Deck was just a drop a dope verse, you're like, yeah, okay, that's Deck. And I feel like certain fighters are like that. You know, they operate and we view them at such a level of greatness that, you know what I'm saying, we see that greatness and we take it for granted, to where if we see him stumble or face any sort of adversity or difficulty, we're like, oh my God, he's losing it. Scholar, he's falling off. And it was like, no, this was a tough fight for him.
Hey,
That's
Cliff, what you mean if I'm familiar with Wu Tang? I'm from New York, like HLD, bro. We from the same spot.
Oh, yo, you from New York, son?
Yes, son. We from 53rd, all that, uptown, downtown, all that.
All that shit got.
But nah, yeah, I get what you're saying. But yeah, like with Dev and Timothy Bradley's commentating, I always turn the commentating down. But when I did the rewatch, I had it up. I was like, no wonder people think this shit is a robbery. They did nothing but point out whatever Loma was doing. So they're not even focusing on the other fighter. They're only focusing on Loma. They're not even remembering what Devin Haney's doing. And in a close fight, like you just said, that's what a close fight is. If they would have gave it to Loma, I wouldn't have been mad at that, because that's how close the fight was, and vice versa. It reminded me of when Andre Ward fought Kovalev the first time.
Exactly. It was like I was rooting for SOG, but let's be honest. After that first, I was like, he did go down.
Yeah, it was a hard fight to judge. That's what I'm saying. It was really close. But and you gotta put the onus. You gotta put the onus on Loma. We knew what Dev was gonna do. It's just like with Floyd Mayweather. When Floyd Mayweather said blame Pacquiao, Loma's only shot to win was to let his hands go in the exchanges. Dev was gonna try to land clean, effective shots and tie you up and break your rhythm. So it's up to Loma to separate itself, and he didn't separate himself. He even went out in the last round and coasted in a close fight. So I mean, you gotta blame Loma.
Well, no, and I'm so glad you're here on this panel, and everything, because you know, I just somebody I like a real boxing conversation that I really want to. I was good, but I wasn't that good, but I was good. You know, I was real good. You know, and what blows my mind is I wasn't that good like these elite fighters. And I watched Floyd Mayweather do 50, 51 fights, whatever the fuck he retired with, and nobody ever understood how to break the Philly shell or his Philly shell. And that's still pissing me off. I want to take a sidebar real quick. When you fight a fighter like Floyd Mayweather and you allow him to establish his rhythm by round 4, now you're just going to chase him and get full countered, and then he's going to point you out. That was established even in the Pretty Boy Floyd days. But it wasn't like back in Pretty Boy Floyd days. You know what I'm saying? He might still try to knock you out. Okay? That's the only real change. By the time he was money, he was more or less resigned to point you out. I've still never seen any fighter outside of Maidana, the first fight, and Maidana left it after the second round. If I was to fight a fighter like Floyd Mayweather, does this sound crazy to you, Scholar? I personally would have resigned myself that I might lose 2 or 3 rounds, the first 2 or 3 rounds, but I would dedicate at least 4 rounds to tickling his ribs.
Nah, you got to do like Marcos Maidana and jump straight on him.
Everything I'm throwing outside of looping overhands, which Maidana was doing was successful, would be to his ribs and body, and I'm gonna get that motherfucker to drop that shoulder. Even if he's gonna point me and do all this shit, you know what I'm saying? When I'm rushing him, I'm not gonna rush him and crowd him. I'm gonna rush him, and when he goes into his shell, instead of coming in a full step, I'm gonna take a half step and not go for that head, but I'm intentionally hitting that hip, hitting that motherfucking humerus bone, and hitting that right there at that arch of that goddamn shoulder. And the judges might not even score that. But trust me, after 4 rounds of that, Floyd will drop that goddamn shoulder.
Yeah, Floyd was. Yeah, you'd have to fight him like that. Marcos Maidana didn't fight him traditionally. He did exactly what you said.
He said, "Fuck it, the clubbing right works, so I'm gonna keep trying to do the clubbing right." It was like, no, you got the clubbing right because he was going inside and just fucking with his body, making him drop that shoulder.
Yeah, he was fighting Floyd, tackling Floyd, kneeing Floyd. That's exactly how you got to fight him. You got to make him uncomfortable. You know, like do dirty tactics. You can't fight him traditional. You got to think about it like this: Floyd Mayweather against straight punches, like you said, he eat that shit all day. He done trained in the gym. He done been seeing straight punches since he was 5 years old. But that looping punch, now that's different. It ain't traditional. And he's setting it up behind, like you said, hip shots, body shot. He's disguising it. He ain't just throwing it over. You know what I mean? So he's throwing it in combination. He's not doing one thing. That's how you beat Floyd. Because Floyd gonna give you different looks. Like what I watched Floyd later on in his career, what he would do is he would use it. He don't use the Philly shell like James Toney. James Toney gonna sit right in front of you, make you miss every shot, and counter punch you. Floyd uses his legs. He gonna use his legs early, and then once he's seen he done slowed your pace down. Now I'm gonna sit in front of you with the Philly shell because you ain't throwing as many punches as you will be throwing because I'm in control of the fight.
That's a very wise, that's a very astute and wise observation, Scholar, because I call it more of a Philly feint than a Philly shell. When you approach him and you press him, he puts his body in a shell. But if you notice, he keeps his base wide. He keeps his base wide to allow him that lateral movement. Because as you try to advance and try to press the Philly shell like most fighters instinctually would when you see that stance, now he laterally slowly turns you. I'm talking about it's not even a full quarter turn. It's an eighth of a turn. But as you know with boxing, it's that little angle that's not allowing your punch to come clean. And as you throw it, you're going to have to throw it and come off your foot a little bit. So you're taking some off of your punch. Allowing someone as masterful as Floyd, who still has his wide base, that now if he goes from an eighth turn to a full quarter turn or more, he can either turn you or punch you while you're off balance because you had to lift your foot to try to correct his angle. Was that too wordy? Do I got to get a diagram for people who
I
don't
get what
understand?
you're saying. He kept his feet wide so that he could dip up under the right hand, and when he dipped, if they try to go for the right hand, they'll be off balance if they throw that shot because of how awkward he's bending over. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Joe Louis mastered that 6-inch punch, and I remember as I read it somewhere, somebody was asking him why they do that, and he was like, "Well, that's not just when you're in close, but you've got to be able to execute in them small, like he was talking about the fraction of that half space." And that's what really got Joe Louis, you know what I'm saying, really focused on that little 6-inch, that little tight little, punch he used to, he got famous for. Because it was that half space. And I always used to think about that. And Floyd was somebody who really pressed it upon my mind when I would watch film, hint, of Floyd Mayweather. He's owning you in the half space. That's why he's back. You think he's running. No, he's seeding you. He's making you feel comfortable chasing him down. And you're comfortable just moving forward. You've been chasing him for now. You've chased him from this ring post to this ring post to where you get to the third one to where now you're just coming forward and not really thinking about that half step or thinking about when he gets low, how his base is low. And he's actually surrendering maybe 2 inches to maybe 3 inches in height. Just so when you leave your foot to try to throw at him from that weird angle, he can stand up. You know what I'm saying, Scholar? He can extend it. He can upright his body and not only be out of the punch, but now he's standing over. You know that pull counter that Floyd always does? where he comes down on a nigga with that right?
Yeah.
But do you see how that's all because all he did was wind his base and shrink himself about 2 inches. And just shift his upper body.
Shit, you just gave me an idea for a short just now.
Yeah, I mean, for real. Like, dude, I'm telling you, I've watched this man do this since the Olympics. And it used to blow my mind because people that I was around, there was a lot of Philly shell niggas who was boxing. They love that style. And I was around East Coast niggas who did that 52 blocks bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. You know what I'm saying? When they was throwing hands. And that was all about angles. And so you would hear these cats talk about angles, and you watch Floyd, and it's like, not only is he manipulating angles, he's owning you in that half space.
Man, Clips, I had a whole beef online with a 52 blocks dude.
They swear by that, don't they? They swear.
Man, that shit is like a religion, like a cult, bro. I told him, like, look, that shit might work in a street fight, bro, but don't bring that shit in the ring. That's how it all started. Man, you can use 52, they got people. Man, get the fuck up out of here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I told him he can't show me one successful champion. The clip he sent me was when Zab Judah did it against Floyd. But I'm like, bro, Zab Judah was getting the shit beat out of him. Why would you use that as an example?
Well, no, because he was actually, Zab Judah was winning when he was 52 blocking. But
yeah, I think that shit that he sent me was like the 10th or 11th round when Mayweather had took over the fight.
And you know what? And that was one of them fights when I don't give a goddamn. You can't tell me shit about no Floyd Money Mayweather because I was a nigga. I'm trying to tell you, I know what it looked like. The devil know his own. After all the fighting and everything, and they got back and they resumed the actual boxing match. Remember, as soon as they got back, Zab hit Floyd. They met us in the ring, and Zab hit Floyd with that combo. Floyd backed up and through his mouthpiece said, "Okay, nigga." You can read his mouth. He says, "Okay, nigga." And the fight was no longer close. Just like when Sugar Shane almost knocked out Floyd, and Floyd did that, like the Matrix shit, like, you know, his whole upper body almost hit the canvas, but his legs never moved. That was dope. I don't know how the fuck he did that. That nigga's limber. You know what I'm saying? And when he raised back up, he said, "You're gonna have to kill me, nigga." Oh, shit. And the fight was no longer close. I said, Floyd, that thing.
Man, Clips, they be cooking me because I don't go with the no. I remember whenever when I told him that what's that dude named Hector, that Tank fought. I said that nigga ain't got no dog in him, bro. They cooked me, bro, because he had just won that fight with Colbert. And I said, look, man, I don't know what y'all was seeing, but I saw a guy that was beating that shit out of a guy, but he still was clinching him. I was like, that's not a good sign of confidence when you in control of a fight and you still clinching and you a power puncher and you got the guy where you want him. He ain't got power to begin with, and you done took more power from him with the body shots. I said, man, he got that pussy on. They let me have it in the chat on Mark channel. And shit, the first time he got hit with by Tank, what'd he do, Clips? Why are we fighting?
Mm-hmm. Hey. And then you know what? I had money on Garcia. I was big that Garcia could win if Garcia came in there right. He did right for the first round, and then when he got hit in the second round, and I agree with you, if he knew his rib was fucked up and still went in there, I don't want to say he just went in there for the bag. I really think that Ryan talked himself. He stepped in the shit. I really believe that Ryan stepped in some shit. And he knew that if he pulled out, even though he probably should have pulled out of that fight, he would never hear the end of it. And it would lower his cachet. And so he said, you know what? If I lose, at least I'll have the moral victory, which he got, of the heart and blah, blah, blah. Even though I said he didn't quit, his body gave out. And then we saw the audio clip. He did quit. It wasn't about that rib shot hurt. It was about he got hit somewhere where he knew he was injured and made a conscious choice that he does not want to continue. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think, and then Ryan tweeted afterwards, "This is what's wrong with boxing." Motherfucker, you think that's worse than quitting?
Right. And once again, I'm not trying to shade Ryan. I'm just keeping it real. There is a difference between I can't continue and nah, I will not continue.
I'm here to shame his ass, Clips. That was embarrassing. I thought Ryan was gonna go in there and put a better performance. He had the attributes, and I felt like he had the skills. But like the fact that he didn't get up, and I seen it live, and then later on the audio came up. It was like, I could have got up, but my ribs, and it's like, and then the spy come out, and then they tweeted that a spy was. So it's like, Ryan, come on, man. This what really made me mad, Clips. He agreed to a rematch clause, right? So that means if he fought Tank and beat him, he would have had to fight him and beat him again without getting knocked out. That's crazy. Then he agreed to a rehydration clause. So he couldn't rehydrate over a certain weight. And then he agreed to a catch weight. So he handicapped himself Even though he's not a bum fighter, that a B side. They both was A sides in my opinion. But he conceded to all that. Then he went into camp, got his rib injured by a spy that Tank sent over there to do the spar him hard to do exactly that. Then he goes into the biggest fight of his career without pulling out. And I know people say, oh, venues and all that. Man, Stanley on this done pulled out. We done seen people pull out from big fights before. Ain't no thing. Errol Spence pulled out the Manny Pacquiao fight. I mean, ain't no big thing. You want to give yourself the best chance to win. You're not supposed to go in there with a rib injury against Tank, who's a body puncher and a shorter. That's suicide.
As much as I really understand, and I really, 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 really agree with you, I will shoot Ryan this bell. I think that if he was to, I think pure boxing fans, like, had he would have even came out with the story of the mole, like full disclosure on why I got to pull out. Doctors, you know what I'm saying? Doctors, x-rays, all that shit. And then you just, hey, this is what's going on. Fuck the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously they had that information, because after the fight, it all came out. Okay, now had he would have done that, certain people like me would have been like, nah, I feel him. Okay, just go on and reschedule that. Give him a couple months, let him get himself right. But I think the people who already was lying, Ryan, I mean, I can't lie. I mean, I like the kid, you know what I'm saying? But I still think he got an OnlyFans with more male subscribers than, you know what I'm saying?
Well, he pulled out a fight before because of mental health.
And that's what I'm saying. It was one of those things where, it's a boy who cried wolf scenario where you've done it and now you should do it, but you already burnt that ticket. You know what I mean? To where he felt like he has to see this through because of all the pushback he felt. And even if his previous reasons for pulling out were legitimate, he already had given them. To where if he gave one more reason, fuck what the fans say, fuck all of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, that man knows his body, that's his money, that's his career, his body, his life. He felt, I've got to see this through come hell or high water. And he caught that motherfucking hell and high water.
It would make sense, Clips, if he was going in there with a Shakur, or if he was going in there with a Rolly. To go in there with a Tank, Tank has a storyline with his career. He's losing the fight, and he lands the shot that he needs to win the fight. That's been consistent with Tank. Like, most of his big fights, he's been like probably losing, and he ends up laying that big bomb and bailing himself out.
Yeah, Tank is a small Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? In that regard, he has more skills, but Tank is like, he's only got to be right for 1 minute, and most of his fights, like, granted, Rolly was whooping Tank's ass. I was saying it in real time. Goddamn, Rolly is hurting. Oh shit, it's over.
Rolly was doing a lot better than anybody expected. So with that being said, if you Ryan Garcia, why the fuck did you go into this fight with an injury? It doesn't make any sense. It would be different if Ryan Garcia had an injury like that wouldn't affect him. Like, you know what I mean? Like a sprained toe or something silly. You know what I mean? But to go in there with like an injury to your ribs, and Tank is a notorious body puncher, why would you do that?
I don't understand it neither. Back to even the Bud Spence action. I really don't think since we saw in the Ugas fight and everything, I don't think Spence's eye is 100% neither. We see that even prior to the retina injury, Spence has a problem with that overhand right. And in the Ugas fight, Ugas was just inactive. I mean, that shit was there, and he doesn't seem to be aware of it. And so, shout out to Arrow along the lines you're saying for no, I have a retina injury. I can't continue in pulling out that Pacquiao fight. Because thank God that he did that, because now we have this Bud Crawford Spence fight, because I do believe that, had he would have did like Garcia did, I'm just trying to go in there and fuck it, I already got the deal signed, I ain't gonna miss this opportunity. Yeah, Pacquiao would have got him a free little, a free young legend under his belt.
Head on the wall.
Yeah, he'd have got it. He'd have got it. Oh man, because like I said, prior to the injuries, Spence has problems with the overhand right, which drives me crazy with him. Danny Garcia wasn't active enough. Sean Porter was too busy trying to maul him on the inside. There was times where Sean Porter found that sweet little Goldilocks zone right there in front of him. And then if you notice, when you watch the tape yourself, don't take my word for it. All of them combos Porter was doing started and ended with an overhand right. Not a jab. They started with an overhand right that either connected or grazed Spence to the point where he broke his guard and allowed something else to come in. What do you think Bud's going to do? This ain't even coming as a Buds fan. This is somebody who really actually understands fighting. You have a problem with this move.
I can't lie to you because I was rooting for Ryan.
I was.
And afterwards, like when I first heard about the rehydration clause, I was like, oh man, he can't beat Tank. Homeboy was like, what you talking about? Like, bro, he telling everybody about this. So that means it's on his mind. So he going into the biggest fight already mentally handicapping himself. How you gonna win? Why would you agree to something that you don't think is fair for yourself and then complain about doing it before the fight? You building in the excuse. I know when a motherfucker trying to build it, it'd be like me and you playing Madden clips, and before we play, I'd be like, look, I just want you to know I had bronchitis when I was 5.
Yeah, you already know, man. I've been there before. I haven't seen it happen to where it's like, and that's in it. But I will say, Ryan Garcia earned me, earned a lot of respect. Like, my respect for him actually immensely increased. You know what I'm saying? But I see the youngness, I see the naivete, and I also see the part of him, even the whole on the build up to the fight where they met in the club. Oh, can we be friends? Can we be friends? Fucking serious. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Clips, I got a question, man. I got a question for you, bro. I seen a Lil Wayne interview, and Lil Wayne said, everybody talk about John Morant. Y'all know that boy? Because I only know that boy from basketball. Like, basically, like, how y'all know that nigga ain't a gangster? And I thought about, like, damn, he right. Aaron Hernandez was whacking motherfuckers and going to play football on Sunday.
Hey, listen, man. That's why I always tell people. That's why I even laugh with people, you know what I'm saying, whatever. Like, what was that the other day when I was in your chat? No, goofy dude was all like that, whatever. I was like, bro, like, listen. Like, I wasn't even bragging, but, hey, this is, like, listen, man, like, I ain't shit. There's thousands of people like me running around this goddamn country and world right now with far more interesting stories. You know what I'm saying? Just because you don't have no frame of reference for it don't mean whatever. And I do agree with a lot of the pushback that John Morant was getting, but Wayne's got a point. I mean, I know a lot of gangsters who had both their parents in their house. I know a lot of stone cold killers who didn't come from poverty.
Man, because I used to work with this dude, little young dude. He was from Atlanta, and I used to always tell him because Texas open carry and all this shit. I would tell him like, look, bro, because I don't know what hood he was from Atlanta, but he was from the hood. You tell by his demeanor, his swag, and everything, and like you said, him being naive. But he used to tell me like he was beefing with this guy at work one time, and I was like, bro, like, look, man, I ain't telling you what to do. I was like, you might not want to mess with that dude. And he was like, why? He a bitch. I'm like, that's why. I was like, he not gonna fight you, bro. I'm like, he probably gonna shoot you, bro. You might want to leave this one alone. Man, he ain't gonna do shit. He was just talking all this shit. I'm like, bro, I know you from the hood. You should be more scared of the business guy with the alibi and that's afraid of you than you should be of the guy from the hood. He couldn't make it. I couldn't get it through to him.
Man, gangster shit 101, man. Scary people scare me. You feel what I'm saying? A nervous person will make me nervous because, that's the nigga that's going to pop off and do something. You know what I'm saying? That's the nigga that's going whatever. And like you said, like, say I'm a nigga that's outside. I'm going to step out here in these streets and I get to arguing with neutral Johnny, you know what I'm saying, the square nigga and all like that. Just on the optic on the outside looking in, this is already bad for me. He could be, you know what I'm saying? this square citizen nigga could be 100% totally wrong and bugging. But mind you, you know what I'm saying? I'm the one that everyone's just naturally looking at because of perception.
You never know. Jeffrey Dahmer was a motherfucking killer, bro. You would never
Thank
know.
you.
You think that nigga was a square looking at him.
Square looking motherfucker and gay as Pride Month.
Sweet than a motherfucker. You would look at him and be like, man, this nigga ain't gonna do shit. He'll chop your ass up.
Well, no, I used to I mentioned there's a state park that's like pretty much my backyard where I stay at. And I'm always in there on the trail or jogging. And like I always like when I'd be having like my son or my youngest, they'd be out there with me. Sometimes I'd get them out on the trails. I'd be like, man, it'd be funny because it's right here in the hood, but you just see nothing but white folks out here. The white folks be the only ones jogging. It'd be crazy, you know what I'm saying? Niggas would just sit on their mama's porch and make their mama's porch hot. But you got this big ass literally right here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I always joke about that because you be seeing these little twink, you know what I'm saying, gay looking white dudes half naked with the little, like, you know what I'm saying, them little booty running shorts just running around out there. And I'll be like, no homo, man. As well as you looking at him like he a little punk. Yeah, he got his shirt off and everything. Look at his body. You see that zero body fat? Like, no homo, look at this. You feel what I'm saying? So if he, you know, if he wasn't of this demeanor, and if for whatever reason, if this little boy had to fight for his life against you, are you 100% sure you'd beat his ass?
Facts, you go press a pressure point and shut their body down.
Thank you. All right, you're laughing at him while we're sitting in this park smoking weed. You feel what I'm saying? While we've just watched this motherfucker make his third lap around this park. You see, he's only lightly sweating. I said that when Drake was getting into it with Chris Brown. I said, Drake don't want with Chris Brown. They're like, what he said? I said, man, I've seen video of Chris Brown doing a 2 to 3 hour, you know what I'm saying? Doing a
athletic to the motherfucker.
You know that man got stamina. All right, I'm a
Hey,
performer.
he doing kicks, flips.
Yeah.
He like a ninja.
Thank you. I'm a performer, okay? I already know what I'm saying. All right, I've done hour-long sets, okay? Most rappers can barely do 2 songs in a row live. That's what I love so much about verses. Some of your favorite artists fucking suck live. Because, yeah.
Usher cool with Chris Brown. Usher let Chris Brown slap the herpes off his lip because he was like, nah, I don't want to get into it. This is dangerous.
Man, that boy get to dancing on your ass. Motherfucker, I can see Chris Brown. Motherfucker, let me see you run it. Just turn it. Man, come on, man. Usher's old ass ain't got the wins for all that. He ain't got, you know what I'm saying? You know, hey, listen, he be in the studio recording in takes. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers don't understand, like, even with these rappers, back to what I was saying, like, you know, half of your favorite songs and some of your rappers, especially all these tongue twist niggas that you think they doing that in one take? Especially the ones now, the younger ones nowadays, old school cats like my age and older, yeah, we're from the generation where, you know what I'm saying, if you can't do that verse in one take, you ain't got no business spitting that verse. Really?
Shit, you just never know. You just never know who you fucking with. I remember one time, Clips, I was at a reunion, and on my wife's side, there was this dude that took a liking to me. We're playing dominoes, talking shit, and he was a cool dude. And afterwards, she told me, she was like he in the street, like he got bodies and everything. I would have never known it. He was so fucking cool, no temper, no nothing. That you just never know who you fucking talking to. Gotta be careful.
Well, you know, I've always said this. Like, you know, I'm a military brat, and you know, I always laugh, and I tease and I joke because you know what I'm saying, but it's a very serious thing. I'm an MK Ultra baby. Both my parents were involved in military intelligence. I grew up, a lot of my uncles and you know what I'm saying, male role figures were, you know, like I said, these were men, black and white and Hispanic men who didn't have names no more. They had designations. You know what I'm saying? Like, to where, like, you know, these were motherfuckers, real J-Shock ass niggas who, because of my mom's MOS and her clearance, you know, she knows them, and her, you know, that she was kind of like the older person, like the mother of her unit. So, you know, a lot of the young cats would, you know, come by the house to either do laundry or whatever, or, you know what I'm saying, shit like that. These would be regular kids. You know, I'm fucking 13. This man's like 25, 27. You know, he's young kid, you know what I'm saying? But you don't look it. But you know what this man does for 7 months out of the year on average? You know, that's why I always talk about shit like that. Like, I grew up around some motherfuckers who you wouldn't even like. No, this dude is really like, yeah, this dude's a ranger, bro. You know what I'm saying? This dude is my older cousin, God rest his soul. He was a SEAL. You know what I'm saying? Got fat and out of shape and fucked as soon as he got out the Navy. But no, like people don't understand. Like this nigga was a SEAL.
Hey, Brandon Washington. Hold on, quick. Brandon Washington, pull up. I want to get your opinion on something real quick, Brandon.
Yeah, let's talk about this, Brandon. You missed what I was saying earlier. You'd have liked it. I gave Errol Spence his keys to victory. I broke it down nice and impartial. I'm gonna save my fish. There's a lot. We got some time between now and July 29th.
Whole lot of time.
We got enough time to fry fish. Right now, we just gonna celebrate you know what I'm saying, the actual fact that we got a date. We're gonna celebrate that and celebrate both these fighters and celebrate combat sports. But
I know Pete Washington going to the fight.
Oh yeah, he already got tickets. He already there. He in his goddamn truck on his way to Vegas right now. He like,
I'm gonna look for the big tall nigga whispering in Errol Spence's ear, you could do it.
He ain't even part of Errol Spence's entourage, but he's gonna make his way to Spence's side for the ring walk. This nigga next to Spence. Is that B-Dog? I can see it now. That motherfucker gonna be standing right next to Spence, right over his shoulder. You got this. You got this.
Man, he a duck.
Whoop his ass, Errol, on Dallas.
Damn, Dallas niggas crazy, man. I'm glad it ain't in Dallas.
Man, shit. Listen, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. I think some of the most despicable thing on the planet is a goddamn Dallas Cowboy fan.
Yeah.
That shit just, these niggas will go like goddamn 2-14, and this nigga will look you dead in the face. We about to win the Super Bowl.
Every year it's the same. I gotta put up with that shit in Texas. Every year they win in the Super Bowl. Like, nigga, 30 years? 30 motherfucking years.
Yeah, like I'm a New York Football Giants fan. Okay? And they be trying to shit on, we got 5 rings. I said, I've got rings in this century. Facts.
Against the GOAT.
Thank you. We're the Brady stoppers. Y'all niggas ain't won shit since I was a YG. I'm old as fuck in this game now, man. You know what I'm saying? I was a runner last time Dallas won shit. I was shining shoes still. Shit don't count.
Hey, that's facts though. Dallas ain't won shit in years. Deion Sanders had a Jerry cut last time Dallas won the Super Bowl. That's tell you.
The fuck out of it. Niggas was still recording on ADATs last time, motherfucker. ADATs and reels.
Yeah, Mr. Clean had hair last time Dallas won a fucking Super Bowl.
Hulk Hogan wasn't racist last time Dallas won. Well, we didn't know about it.
That's facts.
Motherfuckers was saying Bill Cosby was America's father last time Cowboys won.
Fact. Pusha T had an afro. He had a little girl braid last time Dallas won the Super Bowl.
Man, Pusha T had the struggle fro. Actually, back then when Dallas won, I remember the first Clips album, Pusha T had the Caesar.
It was lowercase Pusha T back then.
Yeah, he had a low cut Caesar. He didn't even have braids or the struggle fro.
Yeah, he had grinding back then.
Yeah, exactly. That nigga had the motherfucking fade. Well, no, that was the funeral when they did that. Yeah, I
ain't gonna lie to you though, Clips. I'm kind of envious of Dallas.
Why is that?
Shit, I want somebody to be that loyal to me, man. No matter what the fuck I do.
I hear you. I heard you when you said that about twerking for T.O. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I need me a twerking for T.O. ass nigga. I need somebody who will burn every bridge. That man will headbutt a baby. You talk about T.O., boy. I'm trying to tell you, boy, that motherfucker. I mean, that motherfucker be on the panel just calm and a straight Zen master. Yeah, you know, it's a good fight. As soon as somebody say something about T.O., that motherfucker will bite the microphone. You bitch, you mama. I'm like, man, I need one of those. I need one of those, man.
Me too, man. I need that shit, man. Get me somebody that fucking loyal. I won't even have to defend myself. They'll do all the defending for me. Shit, today he was like, trying to get Mark to say that Bud was wrong because he looked in his eyes. He'll never say Tio's wrong. So Mark will never say Bud is wrong. I'm like, what kind of weird ass logic is that? Damn, I need to find one of these niggas. They make these niggas in Amazon. Got by these niggas out there.
Telling you, I'm the listen, man. Look, I know people in Puerto Rico. I've been asking. I'm like, because you know what I'm saying, like, you know, some of for twerking for Tio shit is kind of textbook, you know, PR machismo. You know what I'm saying? I swear he act just like my little homie Julio, who used to be a producer on my. He sound and act like him, and it's funny because Julio owed me a fade and been ducking me for about 2 years.
Hey, Clips, let's keep it all the way real. Whenever Puerto Ricans want to say, like, they conveniently black, right? Oh, I got African roots. I'm black. I can say the word nigga. But anytime a Puerto Rican goes up against a black or a Mexican go up against a black, who they side with? Who they ride with?
All right. Hold on, man. I'm doing something that YouTube might get mad at me for doing. That's why I'm not cammed up. Hold on, let me fuck it. I gotta just say this. Listen. On my dad's side, my dad is from Brooklyn, New York. On my dad's side, my dad had like 13 plus brothers and a fuck ton of sisters. And most of them niggas married a bunch of Dominicans and Puerto Ricans. I have a lot of Spanish first cousins, and that's why I'm Blando Espanol pretty good. You feel what I'm saying? I've got first cousins who I don't even talk to no more. I've had to fuck up family gatherings because I have first cousins. You with me, Scholar? First cousins. His daddy is my daddy's brother, who they ain't black. Get in your face and call you a nigga. They ain't black because they mama speak Spanish. And low key, some of the Dominican cousins, they mamas be darker than, you know what I'm saying, all of us put together. That shit blows my mind. Don't get me started, Scholar.
That's facts. I remember when Oscar De La Hoya fought Floyd Mayweather. If they got African roots, why they African roots wasn't making them tribal where they was leaning more towards Mayweather? They rode with Oscar De La Hoya. They was riding with Ryan Garcia over Tank Davis, even though they admittedly said Tank Davis was the better fighter. Make it make sense.
I mean, with the Tank Davis thing, I really think that Tank Davis is power, and as much as I like him, I want to see that young man truly tested and have to show me something more than power. Because what I did see at the Isaac Cruz fight was somebody who I see Tank as a bully. I see him as what Tyson got exposed for. Somebody who, when you're not scared of him, and you know what I'm saying, and when you coming for that ass, he blinks. Because the reason why people think Isaac Cruz, the reason why Isaac Cruz is such a marketable name right now, is because Isaac Cruz was the first person that showed the world that Tank will blink. Can you agree with that? Let's not even say Isaac Cruz really won. I know I said that immediately after, but I calmed down when I thought about it. But I will say, yeah, Tank definitely blinked.
Yeah, Tank was fighting for the first time in his career, fighting a guy that was shorter than him. A lot of people think shorter fighters' weakness is the tall people. They've been fighting tall people since they were like 10 years old. It'd be the shorter people that be giving them trouble.
Man, I tell people this all the time. It's like me being you know what I'm saying, a shorter person. You know, and my brother's huge, and my older brother was huge. We grew up around Samoans, Tongans, and Polynesians, and a lot of people who, in general, are just bigger bodies and bigger people. I'm actually very comfortable fighting. I mean, like, it's muscle memory to chop down a tree. You know what I'm saying? Like, I tell people all the time, like, that's how I became a bully beater. I'm one of them people who, when that big dude, you know what I'm saying, just thinks he's going to say something because he's taller or he's, you know what I'm saying, big and everything like that, and he just want to say something to somebody. I'm normally that little guy who's not even going to go back and forth with him. I'm just going to pick him up and throw him or punch the fuck out of him, because I know these big motherfuckers ain't used to somebody who ain't scared of their ass, or who is, yeah, I'm shorter than you, but I got that low center of base, and I'm strong enough with my lower body that, yeah, you could be 250 plus. I can get your ass up in the air easily.
It's
No.
it's it's different punching at that angle. If you go back and look, when I ask people like, Mike Tyson versus Ali, they always say, well, Ali was too tall, too big. Tyson Fury too tall, too big. I'm like, Tyson been fighting big guys since he was fucking 13 years old. You think a big guy would be a problem for him? I don't think so. I think it's a shorter guy would be a problem. And you go back and look, Buster Mathis Jr. should have never made it as far as he did with Mike Tyson. But Mike Tyson was missing those shots because Buster Mathis was shorter than him. He was ducking up under his shots. So shorter fighters always have problems with fighters who are shorter than them. That's why Tank said, "Hell no, I ain't fighting Isaac Cruz again." He don't want that style. That he don't want to punch down. He like punching up and exploding up and knocking motherfuckers cold.
You said it right there. I was just about to say, Tank's bread and butter has been that springboard where he catches you coming in, which works better with the physics coming upward while you're coming downward. Okay. Now, when he's got a shorter fighter, it works in reverse for him. That little springboard punching, that's how he broke his hand. He is absorbing most of the impact, whether he's the puncher or the punchee. It's physics.
Hey,
I mean,
Chris.
I could pull out the whiteboard and explain. I don't want to bore you guys to death, but there actually are mathematical equations for all this. Like you could literally write it down in numbers.
Hey, Chris, I'm gonna go to the store and buy a fan and a propeller, and I'm gonna give it to Brandon when I see him, just in case Errol Spence spit that mouthpiece out. He can fly in the ring and give him a bigger break.
Oh man, Errol spit that mouthpiece out. He's gonna be like, no. Hey, remember on Django when the motherfucking they shot Leonardo DiCaprio? Wow, man! No! Hey, that crippled nigga dropped his cane and ran from the far side of 2 rooms away, all the way to DiCaprio's side before that white man hit the ground. You talk
That's hilarious.
Nigga. Oh man, wasn't he crippled? How can he clip? Man, that move fast for a cripple, don't he?
I think he was faking cripple. He wanted to look helpless.
Yeah, I know, I get it, but it was funny, man. He was on the other side of the other room, Scholar. Y'all know
that shit was hilarious. You need to make that a drop clips.
Calvin. Yeah, I gotta look for that scene. I gotta make that.
Hey, no, real shit though. I'm gonna try link up with the people I'll be talking to over here in Vegas, man. I'm gonna link up with them because shit. We talk about boxing every night. We're gonna be in Vegas at the same event. Might as well link up. This is gonna be a good ass fight though.
I forget you more around San Antonio area, Texas, right?
Yeah.
I tell you what, man. If I don't even go to this fight, I do plan on motherfucking making it down to little Texas. You know what I'm saying, and going, you know what I'm saying, and checking on some of my babies off the books. You know what I'm saying, seeing some old friends.
Shit, yeah, bro.
Oh yeah. Because I said, yeah, you and TB should be around the same way. I'm thinking about blow down on TB. Might just blow down on Brandon. I ain't even gonna holler at him. I ain't even gonna call Brandon. He just gonna come home from work. I'm gonna be on his porch.
Nah, pull up in white face. Scare Brandon. Pull up in white face. Like, yeah, I heard all that shit you've been talking on the internet about the white man.
I'm gonna do my voice like this and act like I'm Jerry. As soon as he pull in his driveway, I'm Brandon Washington, you ignorant fuck. Man, Brandon goes shit out of me. He gonna be like, oh, man, on my property? I've been waiting for this.
Brandon Washington is hilarious, man. He go to Mark's show and say he go to Titanic and skip to the end.
Hey, I actually, you know what? That's the only part of that movie I ever watched. So, Brandon, I'm with you. And you know what? I was thoroughly entertained. That might be wrong. That might be morbid. But you know what? I enjoyed myself. You know, it was like January 6th, a couple years ago for me. Although the American in me was very ashamed and disgusted, the black in me was laughing my ass off.
Hey, I'm trying to get a deal from the PBC. That don't reflect me, man. I love white people.
Oh man, I love white people. I love when
I cry every time they pass away at the end of Titanic, man. I'm like how what you call it was when Calvin died. That's me, Clips.
Calvin.
That's me every time they go down. And I know it's gonna happen, but it still chokes me up every time, like when Ricky died and Boys in the Hood.
Yeah. When Rick, man, shit, I remember in real time being in the movie theater and we sitting there laughing. We like, this stupid ass nigga, motherfucker eating ho-ho scratcher lottery tickets while motherfuckers trying to kill him. Man, you better keep your head on the swivel. Then the music, then you hear that boom and the music, and you see the red car come in the background. I'm like, oh yeah, he gone, man.
Hey, the dopest part of that movie when Doughboy went back and got him. Turn your punk ass off.
Oh hell yeah. Oh hell yeah. See, my favorite part about that scene was how Doughboy, Dookie, and Monster all just looked at Trey without saying nothing when he was like, stop the car.
Hey, Brandon Watson, that's you, man. We all riding. You like, hey, yo, Doe, let me out.
Let me out, though.
Hey, that's us going to go get the white man. Brandon Watson, hey, yo, Doe, I changed my mind, man. Let me out.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you the skit I need for Brandon Washington. I need that skit from I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. Remember that government building down on 54th? We went down to take it over, but they were hiring that day. And they came out with jobs. The brothers weren't mad anymore. Whitey is something else.
Yeah, that's just clowning. You remember on Barbershop 2 when he was at the... See, sometimes, I ain't gonna lie, Farrakhan be making some good-ass points and I be watching this shit, but I be feeling like Freddie the Entertainer. I said the Entertainer sometimes. You remember when he was at the barbershop and they was like, and then they gonna show up with their guns, and we gonna show up with our guns. And he was like, what the fuck? And we gonna shoot them, and they gonna shoot us. And he was like, yeah. And then they walked out, he was like, these niggas crazy. That's me.
Yep. That's how I am too. Shit don't make no goddamn sense, y'all. Y'all just dying like it's the thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like some of these motherfuckers, I really feel like they just woke up today and said, you know what, fuck my life.
Facts. I got reasons to live. I got kids and shit. I just can't go out and be reckless with my life. I gotta make it count for something.
Yeah, so, I'm telling you, man. I mean, some of these niggas, I am so convinced they woke up this morning and said, I don't want to be here.
Shit, HOD like that for T.O.
Man,
he wouldn't have died behind T.O.
His body. I've always said, listen now. That's your goat. You don't let nobody get your goat. Now, sometimes you might lose your temper. Sometimes you might got to check a motherfucker and you got to whatever. But you can't be that triggerable. Go ahead.
This how crazy he is, Clips. He said, I just had to know because I got a good memory, man. And I remember he said that he left boxing, and then T.O. brought him back. And I'm like, bro, so you went through. So where did you leave at? Did you see Roy Jones? Because he was cold. Did you see Floyd Mayweather? He was cold. He could have brought you back to boxing. And he say Floyd Mayweather is one of his favorite fighters of all time, but T.O. brought him back. So if you left, Floyd Mayweather was in the middle of that. He would have brought you back, not T.O.
Yeah.
He be capping, man.
So you missed old GOAT Floyd? That we're still talking about. Like, listen, we wax poetic about Pretty Boy, but let's be honest. Any true boxing casual fan or aficionado, when we really break down Floyd, we talk about old GOAT. Because old GOAT was the one that was giving lessons.
Yeah, I like the older Floyd Mayweather better.
I know I liked him better, but as far as like breaking down like truly the sport, it was the old GOAT who gave you that real film study. Real time. You know what I'm saying? Like you watched him show one fight plan for a minute and a half, and then you would literally watch him switch the fight plan for the second half of that round and execute it. If you knew what you was looking at, you almost seen him say, okay, time to go to plan B. Okay, time to go back to plan A. Okay, plan C now that he's confused. I don't know about you, but I saw it. I literally would see.
Yeah, I like the older Floyd Mayweather better than the younger Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah,
I feel like it's like young Jordan versus old Jordan. Young Jordan was more exciting to watch, but older Jordan, whenever he got the fundamentals mastered, to me was a better basketball player.
Man, yeah, like old Jordan. Young Jordan was a scorer. Old Jordan was the assassin that we all knew Kobe to be. And if you really want to go about how Bean fashioned his game after MJ, Bean more emulated old Jordan. Especially you seen it once Bean settled down and finally got
Take my
himself.
kids to school. You heard me?
What'd you say?
I gotta go out for to take my kids to school.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I had to do. I appreciate that. I'm gonna holler at you. Thank you so much, Scholar. You know what I'm saying?
No problem, bro. You the homie.
Yeah, man. Much love, man. Shout out to the Boxing Scholar. We still up and we still cooking. We gonna talk on this shit, man. Feel free to pull up if you want to pull up. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be cooking for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. You know what I'm saying? Because we've got a fight. We've got a date. Oh, baby. I'm trying to tell you something right now. And when I tell you something, I was going to tell you something good. We've got a date, July 29th. Where will you be? Con Shonery, where will you be? Brandon Washington, you at work, but you tell me, where will you be? On July 29th. Oh, but it's so exciting. Oh, the blood's racing. And it pretty much sucks for everybody who's got fights scheduled from now and between then, because we're still gonna watch your fights and you know we'll talk about them, but honestly, there's only one conversation in the sport of boxing, and that conversation will be had. That discussion will be had. That debate will be had and settled. Finally. An absolute. That's what I want. May the best man win, and let us get a definite answer to the debate of our age. Crawford, Spence. Who wins? Oh, we have from now to July 29th to speculate, to give our opinion, our insights, our predictions. But on July 29th, you know what's going to happen? What's going to happen? I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, goddamn. We're going to see about it. I'm ready. I'm so ready. Ooh, Lord. I got smoke on. Puff, puff, salute to my tribe out there. Smoke them if you got them. It is now 8:40 in the morning, Eastern Standard American time. Good morning, motherfuckers. Go and get your kids to school. Get up out of bed. Get that sleep out your eye. Brush your teeth, wash your ass. But before you do anything, you better thank the Most High, because a lot of people woke up dead this morning. Be a little grateful. Show some humility. Show some class. And show some love. Hit that like button. Subscribe. Turn the notification bell on. We have a lot of content creators that fuck with this show. So you know what I'm saying? Go on to shout out to all the people in the crowd right here, and go on and follow. We got some real great, phenomenal people as a part of this community, and all of us will be buzzing like a hive of bees for now until July 29th. Oh wow! I just wow. Yeah, I'm with you, Con Shonery. It's better be real. Con Shonery, I am so with you. Like, don't do this to me. Oh, no. Oh, my brittle heart, I can't take it. No. Don't play with my emotions. Oh, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, man. If they hit me with the juke move after I done went live, I done stayed up and I done talked this good shit. I don't even know how I'm going to feel. I do. I'm going to feel away. That's how I was going to feel. I was going to feel away. Oh, man. I might have to call a couple motherfuckers some motherfuckers. They're going to be some cussing. I don't know who I'll be cussing, but somebody going to get cussed out. I could definitely see a motherfucker getting cussed out behind this. I might even do like a 4-hour live where I'm just cussing this motherfucker out, and you know what I'm saying, calling them all sorts of bitches with adjectives in front of it. You know, just basically venting my frustration because it's been for me about 3.5 years. If you follow the full storyline, these gentlemen are at 5 years of dancing around this meeting, this clash of the Titans that many boxing fans and aficionados have said their meeting is inevitable. But for 5 years, it has been that impossible gap to bridge. I have news. According to Terrence Bud Crawford, they bridged that gap. They've come to an agreement. They've come to terms. They've settled on a date. And now we, as fans, await. But you have a point, Conchana. We've been here before. This music sounds familiar. You know, I've seen this movie before. Black guy dies first. I don't know if I like. I don't know. But I do not want to be skeptical. I believe that this world, and especially the sport of boxing, has become too disingenuous, too cynical. You know what I'm saying? And so I want to be hopeful that I can still take the sport of boxing seriously. And especially with the build-up and fanfare, if this fight doesn't happen, it's going to take some years to blow the stink off of this one. So they can't lay an egg. This event's got to happen. These fighters have got to have and complete a good camp, come out the camp healthy and ready to fight, and walk into that ring the best version of themselves possible and give the people the best possible showing of their skills. As fans, we demand nothing less than that. What do we say, choir? Am I tripping? Am I tripping by saying that? As fans, at the very least, we demand nothing less than the best version of Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Bud Crawford. Walking in the ring on July 29th, not July 30th. No. Sometime 2 years down the road. Or no. We heard July 29th. Was it T-Mobile Arena, some shit like that? In Las Vegas, Nevada. That's what it said, right? That's what it said on the little Instagram post. He got the fish. He got the fish on the trident. You know what I'm saying? That's what need to happen. I'm expecting no less. I will accept no less. I'm on record here. And I challenge you, all within the sound of my voice, neighbors, visitors, newcomers, hold me accountable. If they do not see through this event on July 29th, hold me accountable to hold them accountable. Because we've done red light, green light with this fight for far too long. And that's my thoughts. That's where I'm at with this. I'll be cooking up some more later. Right now, I'm going to cook up some good breakfast. It is 8:47. in the morning. Grand Rising. All y'all who are still, you know what I'm saying, getting some of this good morning in, y'all let that sun go on and, you know what I'm saying, bless your pineal gland. Go out there and greet the rising sun in the east and open up your third eye and see through the bullshit. Because what's necessary is never secondary. And nothing and no one. I am the High Chief, smoking fat blunt, a.k.a. Baron XL, a.k.a. Lil Lucky Long Shot, better known to the world as the Ohio gangster, that guy Eclipse. I love you. If you don't love yourself, know that you are loved. And of all the people in the world, you are one of them. Make that matter. And make that mean something to you. Because if it truly means something to you, it'll definitely matter to all that you interact with and encounter. And with that said, I bid you adieu. I love you. Thank everybody for pulling up. You guys are awesome. Till next time. Up, salute. Blood beats everybody.